have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go. And that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Let's go. It's time for Sedano and Cap.
A little sabor, and we're going to just nosh.
It is George Sedano. It is Scott Kaplan. Sedano and Cap is on.
I'm going to have to say respectfully, I'm going to disagree.
Okay, why is that?
I don't know.
The LA Afternoon Drive takeover.
He likes to lay the wood.
Yeah. You say Kikuchi.
Wacky forced radio stunt of the year.
Christopher can go to hell.
Oh, nothing worse than the horse. Nah, man, black don't crack.
Benjamin Pratt is like, how do you say his name? Asminger?
Asminger. Hey, these Hard Knocks guys are all over me right now. It's like I'm in back of Dayton. You are a bit killer.
Because you got to talk about sperm.
Here we go.
You don't know. You don't know. And you know why you don't know? Because you're gutless, Andy. You're gutless.
Sedano and Cap.
God, I'm going to melt you.
Yeah. Yeah. Ding da 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 ba pick a doom da da ba da tick a doom da da ba pick a doom da da ba. Yeah.
I love that we're on Alex Len watch now.
Oh yeah, we sure are, aren't we? I'm just telling you right now, I think it's hilarious that when the Lakers make a move like this, and they desperately needed a big man, we all understand that most people are like, okay, I don't know who that is, and I need to Google him, which I did the same exact thing. It's all good. Don't beat yourself up over it, people. It's okay to not know who Alex Len was when he's averaging like 1.9 points per game. It's okay. Just letting everybody off the hook, that's all. Just letting everybody off the hook. Georgie boy.
I love how you like take your own. I mean, listen, he's not a household name, but he's been in the league for like 12 years.
Listen to me. I don't know anything about Alex Len except one thing. 31 years old and Ukrainian. Ukrainian people are tough. That's all I know. And he going to be tough. So, George, I don't know what Alex Len is going to bring to the Lakers other than toughness. What do you think about that?
I guess, yes, for sure. I mean, he did he did play college ball in Maryland, though.
He's soft. Forget it. He's soft, this guy. Maryland,
he grew
forget
up
it.
Wow.
In Europe. Yeah, but he's been in this country for like, I don't know, 15 years.
I don't know, dude. If you're Ukrainian, it's in here, man. You are built tough. Yeah. Different. You're built different.
In the heart?
It's in the heart, right? Yeah. It's in the heart. The Ukrainians, man, I'm all for Ukraine. So I'll tell you right now, I'm all for Alex Len.
Yeah. You know he was a lottery pick, right?
I did not know that. No, I did not.
He was the 5th pick in the draft.
Boy, draft. Would you say it's been a disappointment?
I don't think that was a great draft. Yeah, if you're asking me, I feel like I remember Anthony Bennett being the number 1 pick in that draft.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Sorry, Lindsay.
I don't remember that one either.
I was going to say, we don't like to talk about that.
Yeah.
So, George, let's, if you don't mind, today let's work our way into a couple of things here.
Work it, Cappy. Work it.
Let's start off with last night. Okay. And when I say last night, before we get to Luka, the introduction, his game, post-game analysis, and all your interview with him, etc., let's go to the beginning of the evening, shall we?
Okay. Sure.
So I come walking over to Crypto.com. I've had a little bite to freaking eat with Mace and with Bergie. And we got into the arena probably about, I'd say, 6:45, 7 o'clock or so. And coming in to the tunnel, and who do I run into but you and Jay Moore?
Yeah.
Why don't you pick up the story from what happened previous to me running into you and Jay Moore?
So what happened was I was coming off the floor to the court, like out of the court area. He was coming from the patio area. You know, that patio setup they have there in the court, like, you know, in the bowels of the arena or whatever.
I'm very familiar.
They call the patio.
Sure.
So he's
very
leaving,
familiar.
and I'm walking, like, so we're walking, like, towards each other because I was going to turn left to go down that hallway to to go to the dining room area or whatever. So I'm walking up, and he sees me, and I didn't recognize him at first because it was kind of far away, and there's like weird lighting in there. And then once I got close enough, I noticed it was him, and he says, "I love the radio show." And I said, "Oh, thanks, man." I said, "I'm a big fan of yours too." And I said, "Cappy would be so jealous that you and I are having this conversation right now." And I said, and he mentioned the radio show again. I said, "Yeah, the radio show's awesome. You know, we just do a lot of bleepery. You know what I mean? It's 3 hours of bleepery is what I said." Now, I used the actual word, not bleepery.
Of course you did.
Because as you know, when I'm not on a microphone, I am a drunken sailor when I speak.
Yeah, like a chronic cursor, if you will.
I am. Chronic cursor, yes. Really outside of a microphone and around my children. Yeah. That's it.
Rachel always gets pissed at me because, like, I'll be watching my mouth a little bit around her, and then all of a sudden, like, we'll run into somebody that we know that's a guy, and immediately I start talking like I'm in a locker room, and she looks at me and she's like, what is the deal? Like, why do you do that? Like, why do you go from being like a guy using, like, nice enough, clean enough language to all of a sudden you're talking to a guy and every other word's an F-bomb? Like, that's how guys talk to each other.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't even just do it with guys, to be honest with you. Like, it just, like, sometimes, bleep words will come out just because whatever. It doesn't matter if I'm talking to a lady or not, especially if it's someone I know. If it's someone I don't know, then I wouldn't curse. But anyway, Jay and I are talking about the radio show, and then I tell him that you would so be FOMOing out at that moment. And he's like, "Oh, let's take a selfie and send it to him." So I said, "Okay." So I take this selfie, and we're right in front of the door that separates the dining area and this hallway around the patio area in the bowels of the arena. And when we open it, it is literally you. And I said to you, "Oh, my God." Everybody's like, "Oh, my God," whatever. And I said, "Cappy, we literally just took a selfie to send to you because we thought you would be FOMOing this experience right now."
It was so funny.
And then there you are.
It was so funny, too, because I haven't seen Jay. I mean, you just run into Jay at games and stuff. But I wound up, like, peeling off with Jay. George, I had to recount for Jay. I'm like, "Jay, remember the Super Bowl in New Orleans? It was probably like 2003 or 4, whatever year it was." I'm like, "And you're backstage getting ready to go on, and rest in peace, Ralphie May was opening up for Jay Moore, and Kyle Turley, the former Saints offensive lineman, if everybody knows who that is, the guy who threw his helmet when they were playing the Jets, he was actually doing the opening because it was New Orleans, it was his town, and this is when Kyle Turley was like a big deal. And it was me and my then radio partner, Billy Ray Smith, backstage with Jay before he went on. And, like, we're just having this whole, like, moment about I just got back from New Orleans and remember 20 years ago and what happened that night and everything else. And then it turned into a whole other story about us talking about, like, popping pills and all kinds of things.
Hey, now.
Listen, he's very open and honest with the problems that he's had.
No, I know, but I'm saying you more than
yeah, I'm not really into pill popping, but and that was what we were talking about. Is like he was like, "I freaking love pills." I'm like, "I hate pills. They're disgusting." Like, and so we had a real bro moment, like for like 5 minutes where we separated from the group. But then George, we had to take a full selfie, because now I had to be in the selfie.
Right, you wanted to take a picture of all of us, including Mason and Bergman, and then some guy walked by, a gentleman walked by, and took a formal picture for us.
Yeah, he said, "How about an old school style? Where you don't have to reach out your arm and take the selfie." So that was kind of cool. It was a good start to the night. And then, George, after Jay was like on his way and we had excused him, then we went back out to the floor. George, I'm going to ask you because I've never seen this before. Mm-hmm. In all the years that I've been going to Laker games, and it dates back to the early 2000s, I'm talking like early championship seasons, Shaq, Kobe, Rick Fox, Phil Jackson, like all those teams. I can never remember ever being in that building. Crypto now, Staples back then. I can never remember ever being in that building where it's jam-packed 20 minutes before the game. Everybody's in their seat. Everybody's standing on their feet. And everybody's got their camera out shooting video of one guy. There was something buzzing in that building last night that I've never felt before.
You know what? I started looking back in my pictures from 2018. Ramona said she wasn't there because she was pregnant with, was it Daniel, she said? Yeah. So I went back, to 2018 in my photos. It was pretty buzzing that first LeBron game. Like, I don't know if it's just pictures. So I don't know if it was like yesterday. But now that I look back at it, there was a lot of people there when he was there for that first.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine so, right? I mean, I maybe it's got something to do with the fact that the trade happens in the middle of the season and no one is expecting
it's a different
it.
energy.
Right,
Yeah, no doubt.
Right, because remember, before the trade, all the talk was that the Lakers needed to get another big man to put together with Anthony Davis. So not only did they trade Anthony Davis, we all know the story, but what they got for Anthony Davis is so unusual. And so, I really think that the fan base was last night there.
Okay, hold on. I actually have a video from this. Hold on,
let me
from
hear
this
what you
first
got.
game.
All
Let me
right.
see if I can make it sound like what the sound is like. Hold on. Stand by.
All right, we're all standing by now.
Let me
Standing by.
Put it on the microphone.
Well, you do that.
Sorry.
I'm going to just say, I think the Laker fan base was there last night saying, we now know what our future looks like. And I got
there's no doubt about that. I'm 100% there. But hold on. Here it is. Ready? I'm going to press play.
All right, here's George. Video 7 years ago.
Oh, damn it. It turned off.
Come on, man. What is this, Tulsa?
Sorry, dude.
Hey, listen, let me lodge another complaint at you, by the way. You ready?
Yeah, it doesn't. You can't really tell.
Nah,
yeah,
but it doesn't sound as like last night when they
no,
introduced
dude.
Luka.
People are going nuts.
All right, I just can't tell based on your phone. You know?
I know it's not. But there's a yeah.
I'm gonna tell you something right now. I got
that
very
was-
upset with you last night during the broadcast.
Yeah, you were upset with me. Go
I'm
ahead.
very upset with you last night during the broadcast because
happened?
let me tell you something right now. I left, and I'll admit it. Okay, I left the game at halftime.
Oh, come on.
Wow.
No, but let me tell you why. Let me explain why. That game last night was more over at halftime than the Super Bowl was at halftime.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So I decided last night, I'm like, I'm out of here. They scored 75 or 76 points in the first half. I'm like, Utah stinks. This game's not going to be competitive. The only thing I'm even here for is the prize picks of it all. George, you get into the third quarter or so there. Let's go over to George. And you said on the mic, and you laughed. It was cute. You go, sorry, guys, I had my mic off.
No, I didn't have my mic off. I can't turn my mic on.
Oh, I don't know what happened, but they were like, let's go to George.
No. I don't know if you... Cappy, you can't turn your own mic on television. Somebody has to pot that up.
Well, I'm saying it was like they were like George, and you were like, and then George, and then George, and then you were like, and then you laughed about it, and I thought it was actually really funny because it was
But
actually.
I said, yeah, sorry guys, my mic wasn't on.
Dude, it was actually really funny because everybody who could have heard that was like, what's going on here? And you made light of it, which was great because it sounded supernatural, and I thought it was awesome.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad. I was annoyed because I'm like, yo, guys, hello, they're going to me.
Audio
like,
guy, hello,
like
in the
somebody
truck.
turn on my mic.
Hello,
Yeah.
audio guy. You know, I'm George. When they say we're going over to George, I'm George.
Right. Paul George is not playing in this game.
Not at all. Neither is Curious
I'm the only George right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, great job by
I'm
you,
here.
pal. Great job.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So you heard that, or you? Where did you see it? The East Central?
No. I'd already gone back to the East Central.
So you wait a second.
What?
You left at halftime and you just went to the East Central? Like, I can understand if you were
That's
driving
crazy.
back home to South.
Here's the problem. Here's the deal. Mason looks at me. There's 2 minutes to go in the first half. He says this to me. He goes, "It's halftime somewhere, isn't it?" Like it's 5 o'clock somewhere kind of a thing. He goes, "It's halftime somewhere, right?" And I gave him the out. I was like, "Go ahead, Mace. You can leave. Go ahead." And then after my third meatball, I was like, there's still like 20 meatballs. If I don't get out of here, I'll wind up being the guy that eats all of them. So, and it was such a lopsided game. And there was no way, Utah posed no threat whatsoever. So I was like, I saw what I came for, which is the introductions, the pregame, Luka's first three, LeBron and Luka, alley-oops. And I got what I needed. And I bounced.
You got your full scouting report?
That's right. Well, big time.
Okay.
Full scouting report. And I bounced, George. I left.
Wow.
Not embarrassed.
That was kind of weak, Captain. I mean, again, you weren't going home.
No, I was tired. Oh, don't forget.
But
also,
you were going to the hotel across the street.
Fair
like,
point.
You could have done that, like, watching the whole game.
But I had a 5:30 a.m. workout this morning at the Wild Card Boxing Club. When you got to get up early, I mean, listen.
But you still watched the game.
Yeah, but I turned it off halfway through the fourth quarter.
You know what you say in those situations, Cappy?
What?
My social battery was drained.
Ooh.
End it right there.
Yeah.
What's anyone going to say to that?
No one's believing that.
What? I don't know. I would.
I say it more like this. Hey, if you want to soar with the Eagles in the morning, you can't be flying with the turkeys at night. You feel me?
Exactly.
Bunch of turkeys
I think,
last night.
but if anyone ever questions you, try that. Use that social battery line.
My social battery was out of
drained.
juice.
Yeah.
Was drained.
So I needed to recharge.
Yeah, needed to get to a charger. All right, George, there you go, man.
Yeah,
also, I got to ask you, George. When I saw your post-game interview with Luka, I was waiting for you to ask the last question in Spanish. What's up with that?
No, I don't know. Like, I already talked to him in Spanish. I don't want to double up and do Spanish again.
No double Spanish?
So maybe next time, since it's not back-to-back?
I don't know. I mean, it's got to come out naturally. You know what I mean?
Okay. See.
Thank you, Kelce.
Yes, I get it. But then again, yo hablo español. See? See. George, let me tell you, if you don't mind, for one quick moment, let me tell you about my friends at Real Father's Rights. Because Real Father's Rights is here to help the guys out there. Guys, you deserve to be in your child's life. And oftentimes, the legal system will unfairly favor the mother, particularly in custody disputes. That's where Mark Real and Real Father's Rights is. This is where we come in and we help out. Because if you're a dad and you are feeling sidelined in your child's life, we at Real Father's Rights are here to get you the justice you deserve. We help fathers navigate the family court system in child custody cases, child support, divorce, domestic violence, God forbid restraining orders, and we can help you anywhere in Southern California, L.A., Orange County, Inland Empire, even down in South in San Diego. And here's how you reach Real Father's Rights. 833-ESPN 710, 833-ESPN 710. We've got a new website, RFR, Real Father's Rights, RFR710.com, RFR710.com for Real Father's Rights.
When it comes to the NBA, Lakers and Luka, Sedano is all over.
Luka, lots of anticipation and fanfare for your debut here with the Lakers. How did it feel to play in a Laker uniform?
Special, man. The way they received me, everybody, teammates, front office, everybody here. I heard a lot of noise when I was introduced, so I really appreciate it. It was a special moment.
The home of the Lakers, Luka and Sedano and Cap is 710 ESPN.
This February, NextGen is making it easy to show someone you care with their Buy a Membership, Give a Membership special. When you sign up to become a NextGen VIP, you'll have the opportunity to give someone you care about a 6-month VIP membership absolutely free. With a NextGen membership, you'll both enjoy priority service, exclusive discounts, and peace of mind all year long. Don't wait. Call 833-3-NEXTGEN today to take advantage of this limited time offer.
NEXGEN. Call 833-3-NEXTGEN.
Real love begins with self-love. So, yeah. Hello, Sage Spa. Book my massage for Tuesday morning. Now your top reasons to visit Morongo.
Get a classic car Bluetooth speaker when you earn 500 points on your rewards card, the 18th.
Number 2.
Shy and Montel Jordan, live February 15th. Get tickets now.
And the number 1 reason.
President's Day freebie. Rewards members get an American flag trucker hat free, the 17th.
Morongo, good times.
Hey guys, it's Cap. Here's the scenario. Your home is flooded and the damage is severe. Now it feels like your insurance company is turning on you. They won't approve a replacement living arrangement, and the adjuster leaves you in the lurch. Take a breath and call Avner Gatt, one of Southern California's largest public adjuster firms. Avner Gatt knows how to fight back when your insurance company makes you feel like a criminal, leaving you with no hope of getting into your home and getting it all back together. With decades of experience and a passion for helping people, Avner and his family take the call themselves. So whether you have a toilet overflow, a broken water line, a burst supply line, a broken fire sprinkler, whatever the water damage is, you call Avner Gatt today at 818-917-5256, or you go to avnergatt.com. It's 818-917-5256 or avnergatt.com. You call, Avner answers, he says hello. Your claim is our game, avnergatt.com.
There are some things you wouldn't mind being stuck with, like a large unexpected inheritance. An always on the verge of death phone that has to be plugged in just right so it charges is not one of those things. Switch to Verizon and we'll pay off your old phone. Up to $800 via prepaid MasterCard so you can get a new one. Just trade in any phone from our top brands on any unlimited plan. With new line on My Plan. Additional terms apply for trade-in and pay off your phone offer. See Verizon.com for details.
Robinhood Gold members can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on annual retirement contributions. With Robinhood Gold, the perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive a 3% boost on annual IRA contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold at $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Robinhood Financial LLC member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
This is Sedano and Cap for your afternoon drive.
Walks around like a little puppy dog.
On 710 ESPN.
Black and yellow.
Yeah.
You know what it is.
I love this song.
Was this like a number 1 hit or something today? Oh, 2011, yeah.
2011.
Wiz Khalifa. Yeah.
Wiz Khalifa.
What you know about Wiz Khalifa?
I'm going to tell you what I know. It's not much. It's not much, but I'll tell you what I know. A couple years ago, I went to a music festival called Kaboo. It was down at the Del Mar Fairgrounds, okay? So it's like a Sunday afternoon, and my daughter, who at the time was probably, 12 years old or so, Dad, I want to go. So I take my daughter, right? And Wiz Khalifa is playing. And let me tell you something. There's a lot of weed in the ear. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Right? And George, you know.
Wiz Khalifa's your kind of guy, Cap. He's a Pittsburgh guy.
Yeah. And so you know how like when you go to a sporting event, like somebody will bring like a beach ball and everybody will hit the beach ball. Well, at a Wiz Khalifa concert, they bring like inflatable doobies. Okay? Like big giant reefer doobies. All right, George? And so these big doobies are like beach balls. And, dude, there must have been like 100 doobies flying around in the air, right? And so now there's smell of weed everywhere, you know? And my daughter goes, what is that smell? And I go, I don't know, but I think it's like burnt kettle corn or something. And my daughter goes,
that's a bad smell.
Here's what my daughter says. No, Dad, it smells like you. Yeah. I'm like, what? You know? So there was Wiz Khalifa had a whole lot of weed in the ear.
So you smell like burnt kettle corn?
Well, no, I smelled like weed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, is what happened.
Okay.
Ear?
Why don't you say air?
No, because that's the way he says it. You know, get that weed in the ear.
I thought you literally meant ear.
No, not in the ear, in the air. You feel me, George?
I feel you, dog.
I know you do. Good thing you're here with me today.
Yeah.
Otherwise, who would feel me?
So, Cappy.
Yep.
What else you got?
Well, I will just say this. To start things off, ESPN LA and Beverly Hills Orthodontics are teaming up because we want to know who's smiling in SoCal. Go to ESPNLA.com and nominate who you think is making LA a better place. It could be a mentor, a teacher, a coach, a good Samaritan, or you could even nominate yourself. You can win prizes like sweet tickets, Sonic Hair electric toothbrushes, whitening treatment, which I know I desperately need, or the grand prize of Invisalign. All you have to do is go to ESPNLA.com, and remember, you're always smiling at Beverly Hills Orthodontics. I honestly, George, last night was one of my favorite Laker, let me rephrase, I'm not going to say my favorite Laker games. Last night was one of my favorite Laker halves ever.
Right.
Because I did leave at halftime. I did. I admit it. I acknowledge it. I mean, the game was over at halftime. I mean, right? Like, at least in the Super Bowl, it was 24-0, and I'm like, I think Kansas City's going to make a game of it. Last night, when the Lakers got to halftime, I wasn't like, Utah's probably going to go on a big run. Didn't think that. You?
No. Not at all.
Yeah, it's pretty over.
Yeah. I mean, so it's funny. We had, originally the league and the Lakers and us at ESPN had discussed, because we do these, I guess not every game, but now more games than not, we do player interviews in game as opposed to the coaches, right? To have better access, right? More access to the players as opposed to the coaches. And there was some chatter about Luka Dončić in the third quarter, as the third quarter Laker interview, because the home team goes in the third quarter. And boy, am I glad that didn't happen, because there is a rule. I will let people behind the curtain. The rule is, and this was the same for coaches, it is the same for players, 20 points. 20 points or more, you don't have to do the interview. So the game was like 27 points at that point. So we would have not had a Luka Dončić interview in that scenario, which could have been disastrous. So I'm kind of glad it worked out, and then we ended up doing the post-game walk-off, which was great.
Let me just make sure I got this straight. If one team is leading the other team by 20 or more,
yes,
then
the only way the interview's on is 19 or less.
And the player is, I'm going to put this in quotes, off the hook from the interview?
Correct, yes.
Well, I'm curious why they would do
that. And the coach, by the way, that's always been the rule.
I'm curious, though. Here's why. Because I would think that if you're on the broadcast and it's a 20-point differential, a lot of people are like, well, I guess this thing's over. I'll just leave and tune out. Whereas, wait, don't go anywhere, because George is going to be speaking to Luka here in a few minutes.
Well, I think because of the way the three-point basket has changed the game, and we've had a lot more 20-point comebacks, I think we should revise that to like 25 maybe as a league. You know what, Cappy? I'm going to send that into the broadcast team.
Let's do that. Let's work on that a little bit.
How about we up to 25?
Yeah, come on, at least. 20.
Right, because we've had 20-point comebacks now.
Right. And, by the way, if a game's a 20-point game and it's boring, give us a player to talk to.
Right.
So I don't.
Especially if you're the winning team.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Like, hey, I know you're down by 20, but let me get a couple of seconds with you if you don't mind. Versus, hey, you guys are up by 20. You're chilling. What do you have to say?
Right. What do you have to say?
Yeah, what's your story? What's your deal?
What's your deal?
Yeah, what's your problem?
Hey, Cappy, you can also listen all week to Travis and DeMarco for your chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to the signature event, which will feature the Genesis Invitational, which is down in South, right?
Mm-hmm.
Torrey Pines.
Yep.
It'll feature Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, Colin Morikawa, and more. Get your tickets today at genesisinvitational.com.
Mm-hmm.
So, here's the deal, man. Like, I think that this team, I came away feeling that the Lakers are going to be pretty feisty in the sense of once this thing gets going the way it could get going, I do believe they have a shot. Now, again, it is matchup dependent, Cappy. Now, if they face Denver in the first round again, you're like, come on, man. So really, that's honestly the only team that I say to myself, holy crap, Jokic is just going to destroy them again. And Jamal Murray always has good games, too, against them. So, I just want to avoid Denver if you're them, which they would currently. Anyone else? I mean, maybe you don't want OKC in the first round, but right now you wouldn't face them either. Right now you'd face Houston, and I'd take that matchup, even though Houston has had their way with the Lakers in the regular season. I just think the playoffs are a different beast, and I've seen way too many teams trounce somebody in the regular season. I know Denver is obviously trounced the Lakers in the playoffs and the regular season. But I've seen plenty of other examples that it goes the other way, where the team that wins in the regular season gets beat in the postseason after having success in the regular season. So I like the Lakers matchup if they face the Rockets, even if they face the Grizzlies. And honestly, I wouldn't mind the Thunder if I saw them at any point if I were the Lakers. I wouldn't be afraid, even as good as they are in the regular season. I mean, they're young, and they have some warts still, I think. But Denver's the team that, granted, they're not as good as they were when they beat the Lakers the last 2 years, but, Jokic is terrifying.
Well, you asked an interesting question yesterday, which was how long will it take for the Lakers to actually gel? And I got to pick that part of it up because you're already obviously getting to, what if they play this team, or this team?
Well, I think they're going to be in the playoff. They're not going to be in the play-in this year.
Absolutely, and that is
barring
where I want to pick it up.
barring a crazy injury to either LeBron or Luka at this point.
Yeah. Which, by the way, leads me to both of those guys, LeBron and Luka. So last night, I played LeBron James on Prize Picks, George, to have more than 40.5 points, rebounds, and assists. You know what he finished with last night?
How'd he do, Cappy?
39. As a matter of fact, he kind of came out of the game late. And I say late, I don't know. It may have been early in the fourth quarter. I'm going to say late in the game. And you had a report about him walking off the court and looking like he was hurt, and then you could see him in the tunnel.
He was kind of feeling at his abdominal and his abdominal area, and Mike Mancias, his trainer, was there with him, and then they went to the tunnel. Right?
Yeah, and I don't remember LeBron coming back into the game. In fact,
He came back to the bench. Yeah.
No, to the bench, but not into the game.
No. I mean, the game was over.
So I know, but I was like sitting there going, put LeBron back in the game for one basket. I've got him for 40.5, and he's at 39. And then I made a mistake last night, if I'm really being honest about it on Prize Picks.
You did?
I took Luka last night to score more than 27.5 points.
Yeah,
and that was
first
dumb.
game.
That was
Happy,
dumb.
What were you thinking?
You know what I thought? I thought, they're going to keep feeding him, and he's just going to keep knocking down shots.
No,
and
first game. Guy hasn't played in 6 weeks.
Right, and I should have really thought more about that, but I think I got caught up in the emotion. So, George, here's what I want to say to everybody.
I want to tell people this, though, Cap.
What's that?
That they should be downloading the Prize Picks app using the promo code Cappy, K-A-P-P-Y, and their first $5 play will get them a $50 bonus. And if you want action, like Cappy's talking about in the state of California, Prize Picks is the place to be. You can win up to 1,000 times your money in as little as 4 picks, and it's as simple as a statistical line for a particular player in almost every sport imaginable, and you just pick more or less. It's that simple.
You literally took the words right out of my mouth. Download the Prize Picks app, use the code Cappy, K-A-P-P-Y, make that $5 play, get that $50 bonus, and this week, the return of the now 18-year-old international sensation, Luke Littler, will be throwing darts this week, and I'll be playing Luke on Prize Picks. What you know about that, George?
What I know about it is he's a badass. And you know what? If you want to be a badass, pick Luke Littler, more or less. It's very simple. Prize Picks. Run your game.
Tonight, the black and gold return to BMO Stadium. LAFC take on Mexican powerhouse Club America in a preseason friendly.
This last huge friendly game that we are so excited to go to BMO with our people.
It's the return of an old friend, Brian Rodriguez, as he leads his club into downtown LA. Los Angeles Football Club versus Club America. Pre-game coverage begins tonight at 7 p.m. on the ESPN LA app.
You never expect a Hail Mary pass to win and end the game or getting into an accident. Hey, it's Trav with DeMarco.
Only one all-star defense team you can call to defend you. The personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000.
Don't get sacked by others. Joseph will help you achieve the maximum compensation you deserve. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. That's 213-747-2000.
Let Joseph and his team score a touchdown for you.
Bottom of the ninth, bases loaded, crowd rocking for Rotolo Chevrolet's top hitter, Mike Capozio. He's facing off with the Bulldog, and these two have quite the history. Here's the pitch. Oh, he got all of it. That ball is out of here like a red Corvette, and it's going, and going, and going.
Yes! Dad, are you having that dream again?
Come see what the fun is all about at Rotolo Chevrolet.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-777-1225. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-777-1225. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-777-1225. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-777-1225. 800-777-1225 or biglou.com.
This is Sedano and Cap for your afternoon drive.
How is that related?
On 710 ESPN.
Oh, Celine.
Sea Line.
I don't know. I remember the story. You told me about your kid.
DeAndre's giving me a look. What does that mean?
Sea Line?
My daughter and I were in Vegas for a soccer tournament, and there's like these signs everywhere that say Celine. And she goes,
doing
Dad,
her residency.
Right. She goes, Dad, what is Sea Line? Everywhere. Signs everywhere. Sea Line. I go, Sea Line? What are you talking about? She goes, right there. She points. And I don't see what you're talking about. I think she's saying Sea Lion. Sea Lion. Sea Lion. She goes, right there. I go, oh, Celine. as in Celine Dion. And she was like, oh, my God, how dumb am I? And I'm like, well.
How old was your daughter at this point?
She's probably about 14, 15.
And which daughter was this?
Jillian.
The Boise State one.
Right. We call those Jillian moments. She once sent me a text, and she said, Dad, I need to go to CVS. I need to pick up some toiletries. Toiletrees. Toiletries. And I'm like, what? You mean like, she's like, yeah, like toiletries. Like, and it just, I'm like, no, but it's not trees, like trees. Like, it's not toilet trees. It's toiletries. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Cappy, you know what today's the anniversary of?
Tell me.
I think the biggest upset in sports history.
Oh, really?
Buster Douglas defeated Mike Tyson to become the new undisputed heavyweight champion of the world today in 1990.
Oh, 1990.
Now, I didn't watch the fight.
Oh, I did.
Okay? So listen, my dad, I grew up in a Cuban household, and there's two sports that you're going to watch every day for sure when
guess.
they're on.
Let me guess.
In a Cuban household. Go ahead.
I'll guess boxing is one.
Yes.
And I'm going to guess baseball is the other.
Correct.
All
and
right.
then my dad loved the American sports, so we got into, basketball and football particularly, all my life too. But those two were like religion. You know what I'm saying? Like boxing and baseball was religion. So I remember my dad always, we had it. So my dad, worked. We lived in a very blue-collar family, but the one luxury we had, because my dad loved television, was he was going to get cable. Like, so we were one of the first families to get like a cable package and like a cable box and the whole deal. So he had HBO, so I watched a lot of HBO growing up because my dad was like, I want HBO. If I'm going to work my hard-earned money, I want to be able to sit in my house in my recliner and watch TV and watch HBO whenever, whatever. So we had all the fights on HBO. So this one, I believe, might have been a pay-per-view or whatever, and we'd watch the pay-per-view stuff occasionally because this is the dawn of pay-per-view. And my dad's like, I'm not buying this Buster Douglas Mike Tyson fight. Like, forget it. And we had because he's like, so we ended up going to Disney World. And as you know, it's like where we grew up in South Florida, going to Disney World is like driving from here to Vegas, from LA to Vegas. Very similar drive in the sense of like 4 hours, basically. So we went to Disney World that weekend, and we went up just for one day, like Friday night, spent the night, Saturday, and then drove back Saturday night. And I'll never forget, we were driving back from Disney World, and we were almost at the house. And my cousin, Hiram, coincidentally, we ran into him on like this major thoroughfare, and he's like honking at us, and he's like, hey, and we're like, what? And this is late at night, okay? We're driving back home. It's like almost midnight or whatever it was. And he's like, and we stopped there, and he's like, my dad's like, what's your problem?
Yeah,
and
Hiram.
And he goes, Mike Tyson just lost to that guy, Buster Douglas. And my dad goes, what? Yeah. And he's like, yes. He's like, we got to get home. I got to watch ESPN. And it was like insane. Like, so then, obviously later on, they showed the fight on HBO like a week later. And we watched it at the house. And we were like, it was insane to watch it. Like, I couldn't believe it. Because, Mike Tyson at that time was
invincible.
Completely invincible.
He was invincible. He was the baddest man on the planet. It's funny. Right. I didn't realize that today was the anniversary of it. I know exactly where I was. It's one of those moments where you say, I know exactly where I was when this happened in history.
Yeah.
In sports
I was driving
history,
back from, I wasn't driving back, but my dad was driving back from Disney World.
I remember exactly where I was. By this time, I'm in college. I'm at a bar called CJ Barney's. I remember exactly the night because we had one friend whose dad had money, and so we would always make him take us out to dinner and put it on his dad's credit card. And so the fight, for some reason, was on in the bar, and we all saw Mike Tyson get knocked out, and it changed everything for Mike Tyson because he literally went from being invincible and being the baddest man on the planet to all of a sudden in one night kind of losing his aura. And the thing is that the stories go that he didn't train for that fight. At that time.
Well, no, there's been a documentary written about it. Yeah.
Mike was going through a lot of weird personal stuff, of being young, ultra wealthy, internationally famous, controlled by Don King, kind of ripped off by Don King as the stories go. So he didn't think Buster Douglas posed any threat. But what we ultimately found out is that Tyson being like 5'10" and Buster Douglas being like 6'5", Mike never could handle big guys after that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, he kind of unlocked the key to beating Mike Tyson, right?
And that's what the Philadelphia Eagles did to the Kansas City Chiefs this weekend. Punched them in their
not
face.
That kind of an upset. Though.
Knocked them out.
I mean,
and
Buster
they're
Douglas
never coming back.
No, stop. But Buster Douglas was a 40 to 1 underdog.
Yeah, it was. That was like one of the
40 to 1. Like, think about that. If you put $100 on Buster Douglas, you came out with $4,000.
Yeah, nice bet. Probably worth it too.
And I bet you in Vegas.
You hear that, George?
Yeah, he's got one eye.
I could just barely hear it, but I mean, I heard it. You know,
Yeah.
Look at me, man. Look at me. I got one eye. Although that wasn't really that fight. That was the fight from Evander
That was a different
Holyfield.
fight.
You know what I mean?
I want to fight. He don't want to fight. Look, he got another ear. I got one eye. I got children.
I told Lindsay that. I was like, get ready. Cap's going to say that.
Oh, yeah.
I got one eye, man.
I got one eye, man. Then Lennox, I'm going to eat your children, Lennox.
Then Lennox knocked him down. And after the fight, he's like,
Man, I'm sorry for all that, man. That's just fight talk, you know.
and the whole curtain was pulled back. So, hey, George.
Hey, Cap.
Well, let me tell you one other thing that I really liked about last night's broadcast.
Okay.
I thought you did a really good job, and I thought it was something that needed to be aired, was Luka comes to town. And Luka, I mean, listen, I don't know if like LeBron told Bronny, yo, out of the bedroom, Luka's in. You know, like I don't know what Luka's deal is going to be. But, you know, you're a 25-year-old kid. Yeah, you got money and you got fame. But when you're traded, and it's a little embarrassing, like hurts the ego, and then you show up in another town, and now you got to find a place to live, and I think you've reported that he's living in a hotel, whatever, okay?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But for him to come to town and have a sense of, I need to immediately be a community leader, I need to immerse myself in the community, I know what's happened here in the last few weeks, I know about people losing their homes, I know about people struggling. For Luka's foundation to immediately walk into town and put up $500,000 as a gesture of, I'm here in town, I'm here to help, I'm here to use my platform however I can. I thought it was a beautiful gesture, number one, and I think it's something that needs to be told more frequently. I thought it was great.
So his foundation, his guy reached out to me yesterday, originally through the league, and then he called me on the phone, and we spoke, and he told me about it. So it's $500,000 plus the rebuilding of a lot of green spaces, parks, basketball courts, the playgrounds, things of that nature in those areas affected. So he's going to, in the letter he signed it basically, your new neighbor, Luka, you know what I mean? Which was kind of cool, I thought.
Yeah, it was very sweet. I mean, listen, everybody's trying to do everything they can to help. I mean, I will just tell you, I ran that 10K on Sunday. I was so out of shape that today is Tuesday. I'm still sore as hell. But I will tell you, George, that after the show yesterday, we have an employee here at the station, and his family lost their home. And after the show, no cameras, no fanfare, no social media, no pomp and circumstance of any kind. I literally just handed a guy who works here at our radio station the money that our listeners sent to me. Remember, one listener sent me $550 in cash.
Yeah.
Another guy sent me a check, and I literally just walked up to the young person yesterday here at the station. I said, hey, man, I hope everything's okay with you and your family. I hope this helps. And I just handed it off to him. Now, it wasn't $500,000.
Right.
But, grassroots, help one family. So do what you can.
No
and
doubt,
I thought,
man.
Luka, awesome, man.
Yeah, super cool stuff, man, for sure. All right, Cappy, let's take a break. Let's kind of get into the basketball part of it because the Lakers' schedule moving forward is something I'd like to get into. And, they added Alex Len, and I have some thoughts, Cappy. I would say I have thoughts about how I think the Lakers will play with LeBron and Luka. So let's get into that on the other side. Stick around, 710 ESPN.
The City of Stars has a new superstar.
Just for Kobe to know my name was amazing for me. I just wish Kobe and Gigi were here to see this moment. I'm excited about this new journey. Happy to be here.
The home of Luka and the Lakers is 710 ESPN.
Is your heating and AC system ready to power through the season? Whether it's keeping your current system in top shape with a quick tune-up or replacing an old system, NextGen is here to help keep your home safe and comfortable. For a limited time, NextGen is offering ESPN LA listeners a heating and AC tune-up for just $88. Their expert technicians will make sure your system is running safe and smooth so you can enjoy total home comfort all season long. If it's time for a replacement, NextGen can help with that too. They offer professional, full system replacements with the latest energy-efficient models to help you save your money and keep your home at the temperature that feels just right for you. We're here for you 7 days a week because your family's safety and comfort are always our top priority. Don't wait. Call 833-3NEXTGEN. That's 833-3NEXGEN to schedule your $88 tune-up today. And don't forget, if it's time for a replacement, NextGen can help with that too.
NEXGEN. Call 833-3NEXTGEN.
Hey, it's Mace. Looking for some fun? Dive into Chumba Casino, your ultimate destination for free, fun-to-play social casino games. Play slots, bingo, and more whenever and wherever you want. With new games dropping every week, there's always something fresh. Lounge on the sofa or play on the go. Start spinning today for the chance to redeem some sweet prizes. Play now at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus TNCs apply.
This February, the Genesis Invitational heads to Torrey Pines in San Diego. Be there when moments become legendary. The roars echo through the trees, and champions rise. The Genesis Invitational welcomes the world's best golfers, including Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, Colin Morikawa, and more to Torrey Pines February 13th through 16th for the Genesis Invitational. This is where legends are made. Get your tickets today at genesisinvitational.com.
Hi, this is Sean McVay of your LA Rams. The Rams play here. KSPN, Los Angeles.
710 ESPN.
A good karma brands radio station.
710 ESPN.
Sedano and Cap for your afternoon right now on 710 ESPN.
It's time for what you need to know.
Let's do it. What you need to know right now.
What you need to know is brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times. Less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. I'm doing 100 jumping jacks every break, Cappy. So I got to finish this off. Take it away, Linz.
But this isn't the break.
Well, he
started late.
How many are you on?
All right, I've done 100. Okay.
100. I was gonna say I'll match you and do 50. But listen, I took a long walk last night, like 4 or 5 miles, and I am so out of shape that I'm like my quads are kind of feeling it today.
Well, I got to the hotel, was able to lift, but I wasn't able to do any cardio, so I figured 100 jumping jacks every break during the show. We end up having, 12 breaks during the whole show? So that's like 1,200 jumping jacks.
Okay,
good
very
cardio.
good. Nice job out of you.
Yeah.
Me, on the other hand, I got mine done this morning. You know, I was at the Wild Card Boxing Gym this morning just taking care of business. And I don't want to put out any video of what happened this morning because I don't need people having a scouting report on my skills. But I will just say that DeAndre checked out my video, and suffice it to say, he knows the speed and the power that could be coming.
Cap, you know what you should have done? You should have capped off your workout over at the Wellness Center at LAPC and used like the little, the Theraguns.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Or the Peloton. Or maybe,
DeAndre, what'd you think about
Get
that
some
video you
stretches
looked
in.
at today? You see them throwing hands, huh?
Look, man, no one wants to mess with Cap. That's all I got to say, man.
Yeah.
Those hands are lethal. That's all I got to say.
I'm telling you right now, George, these paws right here.
Careful, Fortenbaugh.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't want to say it, but I don't want. In fact, people have suggested that I put out the video and tag him in the video so that he understands.
I heard that you guys are both booked for a guest spot on an upcoming episode of Clinton Friends.
Ooh.
At the same time, in person.
Ooh.
So we might have to see those hands, Cappy.
Judge Clinton.
Yeah.
Judge Clinton.
All right. Linz, what do you got?
That's what you need to know. No. So despite the game being a blowout, Sunday Night Super Bowl averaged a record 127.7 million U.S. viewers across TV and streaming. So that was the second most watched television program of all time, according to Fox.
Is that now a new thing that you're going to do as well? You're going to start calling things programs?
I've always called them programs.
Programs?
I mean, listen, every college coach I know calls it a program.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
a
it's
program?
a program.
Really?
So that's the thing.
Is
Yeah,
that
the
your-
old guys call it that.
Oh, the program?
Yeah.
No, I don't call it that.
Like Woody Hayes used to call it a program.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, I'm a program.
My
whatever.
grandma was a program. She watched the programs on the television, or sometimes the idiot box if she wasn't in a good mood.
I mean, great for them. I mean, there's no doubt about that. But I turned it off. I wasn't interested anymore.
Oh, I watched the whole thing.
Nah,
I turned it off after that last first play of the third quarter. I was like, nope,
when it was
done.
37 or whatever, like 6 or whatever the hell, I was like, I'm out.
No, not me. And I'm glad I stayed around because I'll tell you guys that I'm a Jalen Hurts lover, and there are a lot of people that are Jalen Hurts haters. or disbelievers, and I'm glad I stuck around because Nike put out a beautiful commercial, the Jordan brand, about Jalen Hurts. Did you see that, DeAndre?
I did, yeah.
Did you stick around for that?
Yeah, love hurts.
Yeah, love hurts, but they were talking about all the hate. You hated him when he got benched. You hated him when he got drafted. You hated him when he took over the starting job, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You hated him when he lost the Super Bowl, and now they had like this picture that they edited in like right at the beginning, like right at the very end of the commercial, but they like as the game ended, a big smile on his face, and they clipped it in, and I don't know how they get it to Fox and get it onto TV, but it was great. I was glad I stuck around for the whole thing. I was one of the 126 million people.
By the way, isn't it adorable that the city of brotherly love is going to have their Super Bowl parade on Valentine's Day on Friday? I think it's cute.
That is lovely. Maybe everybody will behave.
Yeah,
like,
hopefully.
Stop being an idiot, like just love each other. It's funny, though, that we talked about.
DeAndre's all mad because his offensive coordinator took a head coaching job.
This is so dumb, man.
It's not dumb.
It is dumb.
It's not dumb.
Yes.
There's only 32 jobs.
It's not dumb. Let me
go on your rant,
listen,
DeAndre. Go on your rant.
Look, man, you have a chance to have a dynasty.
Stop.
What do you mean? Oh, stop! No, don't you stop me. This is the chance right here to have a dynasty. Jalen Hurts is young. That receiving core is young. Saquon Barkley in that backfield with that offensive line, who is going to be healthy again next year.
Okay.
You can't ask for nothing better
Fair
than
enough.
that. Why would you go to the New Orleans Saints? And no disrespect to your boy Derek Carr and that dysfunctional Saints organization.
I'll explain.
Derek Carr.
But let me explain it to you. You ready?
Okay.
It's a math equation. Okay.
Right.
It's just a math equation.
He makes more money.
Right. So let me pose it to you this way, DeAndre. You're an offensive coordinator. You're making $3 million a year. It's a nice living, right? I mean, could you live on $3 million a year?
Oh, hell yeah.
You sure? Because, I mean, after taxes and after paying your agent, it's really only about $1.6 million. Can you live on that?
No.
You sure?
No.
Okay. So you're making $3 million a year as an offensive coordinator. As a head coach, you're going to get a 4-year, $32 million contract. And if you make all 4 years, you made $32 million. If you make 2 years and they fire you, they still owe you $16 million.
Right. Exactly.
All I'm saying is that every guy in the NFL, and that's an exaggeration, most guys in the NFL want to be head coaches because they want to be in control. They want to prove that they can do it their way, and they want to make the money. And so when you have an opportunity like Kellen Moore does right now, you're the hot guy. But remember, this was a guy who was in Dallas. Then he went to the Chargers. Then he went to the Eagles. And I don't even know if there were stops in between. But he's been elevating year after year, like going from one OC job to another OC job. And when you finally have a chance to be a head coach in the NFL, and I got it, man, Derek Carr's old and beat up. And the Saints organization doesn't seem to be in a great spot financially. But when you have a chance to make $8 or $10 million a year as a head coach, you got to take that opportunity.
Every day, all day. All day. Like, all day. DeAndre, let's just say in a mythical world, this show became the biggest show in the world. Like, it became like the Howard Stern show or whatever, something like that. And we're all making good coin, right? Like, way more than we're making now. But then someone said, yo, DeAndre, I know you're making good coin with Sedano and Cap, but we will triple your money and let you try your own thing. You're going to at least try. And we would, honestly, I would tell you, absolutely go do it. Like, I wouldn't stop you.
Nah, you're right.
Have we persuaded you? It was a terrible concept. I know what you're saying, though. Like when you have a team and they're good and they're young, you would love in an ideal world to keep everybody together. But I think that the Rams are a great example of how an organization.
All the McVay guys.
Right.
Yeah.
They get picked off every year, the McVay guys. And by the way, they've all done pretty well. Cincinnati, Green Bay, Minnesota. And I guess, Liam Cohn, who's now in Jacksonville, he doesn't really count because he didn't
there for like a second.
Right. He didn't go from the Rams to the Jags, but he's got a little bit of McVay in his DNA. I think that great head coaches can replace good coordinators. And I would say in Philadelphia, Nick Sirianni has gone from a guy who's often been ridiculed or people thought he should be fired to guess what? Yeah. You have a Super Bowl ring. You've been in the Super Bowl 2 of the last 3 years. You're now a great head coach.
I just look at it selfishly as far as obviously an Eagles fan, but this is going to be Jalen Hurts' 4th offensive coordinator going into next year. 4th offensive coordinator. It's just like, damn, man.
You feel bad for him? You feel bad for him?
But you know what? It just shows what kind of character he has, the ability to adapt right away and learn a new system. I mean, it's good.
Listen, you should feel bad for Derek Carr. This is Derek Carr's 25th offensive coordinator. And probably his 30th head coach, right? I mean, seriously, feel bad for that guy.
Yeah. So anyway, DeAndre, your guy's gone, and it's okay. You'll just have to find a new offensive coordinator. Hopefully it doesn't go as poorly as the last time you guys had to find a new
don't remind me
offensive
of Brian Johnson last year. That was awful.
Let me tell you something. I wish. So you guys, listen. I've mentioned this 1,000 times. My college roommate was the offensive coordinator of the Patriots.
Yeah. Oh, there you go, Scott. Not Scott Van Pelt.
Alex Van Pelt.
Alex Van Pelt. Yes.
He actually. It wouldn't be sexy because he's coming from a losing organization and they got fired. But you talk about the right guy for a run-based offense and a short passing game-based offense. Don't get me wrong, he threw a couple of really nice long balls in the Super Bowl.
Do you know Jeffrey Lurie? Are you going to pitch him Alex Van Pelt?
You should.
I don't know Jeffrey, but if there's any guy, I should be talking to Howie Roseman. Because don't you think Howie Roseman is my kind of guy?
He is.
You know
He's
what I mean?
Fired up
That's
too,
a Hebraic hermano right there for you, you know? So
Howie Rose, I thought.
Is it not Roseman? Is that not his name?
Roseman.
Yeah, but that's what Tom Brady called him. Remember?
He called him Howie Rose?
Yes.
Really? Well, maybe he was thinking about his brother Axl Rose. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my gosh. Anyway.
Yeah. Cappy.
Yep.
Let's do this. Let's talk about the Lakers on the other side, because I know everyone is like, we're about to get to the All-Star break or whatever, but post-All-Star break, things start to stiffen up a little bit for the
big
Lakers.
time. That schedule is going to change a lot. And if they don't and this whole big man situation will be exploited by the schedule.
Right. So let's get into that on the other side. But first, Cappy, tell us about your friends at Sellers Advantage.
I would love to. First of all, let me say something to the people who actually run, operate, and everybody who works at Sellers Advantage. You guys do such a masterful job. You really, really do. Whether it's radio commercials, which we do, TV commercials, which I see all over television. And honestly, you can't drive down a freeway in L.A. without seeing either, Sellers Advantage on one side and Jacob and Ronnie on another side. I mean, seriously, these guys dominate all the billboards. If you want to sell your home, now happens to be a spectacular time to do that. And the reason for that is it's not interest rates, it's not demand, it's not any of that. It's really the issue of what has happened here in LA over the last, few weeks. There are more people that are in need right now of new homes. And there just is not necessarily they're just we just don't have enough of them, right? So if you've been thinking about selling your home, whether that's because your kids have moved out or your parents left you a place that you don't want to live in, or you're just ready to make a change, or you want to help another family that needs a place to go, now would be the time to call Sellers Advantage and get that no obligation offer at 888-390 as is, 888-390 as is, 888-390-2747. Here's what they're going to do. They're going to come to your house. They're going to look around. They're going to make you a cash offer based on all the comps in the neighborhood. But the cash offer is going to be, you don't have to clean. You don't have to paint. You don't have to fix this wall. You don't have to do anything. It's a cash offer. The deal's not going to fall through. No problems. Call Sellers Advantage, 888-390-2747, or go visit them online at sellersadvantage.com.
The city of champions just got even brighter.
From Slovenia, Luka Dončić.
Luka's rocking the purple and gold.
I'm Doug Hopkins.
And I'm Damon Lyons.
And we want to buy your house.
With over 30 years in the business and more than 20,000 real estate transactions, Sellers Advantage offers a much better buying experience.
We don't charge agent fees, you pay no commissions, and you make no repairs. Sellers Advantage will show you a no obligation as-is cash offer and can close in just a few days.
Just check out our Google reviews and see for yourself.
Call Sellers Advantage today or visit sellersadvantage.com.
Don't worry, sell happy with Sellers Advantage.
Hi, my name is Victoria. I am from Sylmar, California, and I just want to say thank you to all the firefighters for everything that you've done. You are so brave, so just amazing and brave, and we appreciate everything you've done for the city.
I want to thank them. Without them, the fire wouldn't be the way it is right now. Little help like you guys asked for. I got a few bobbleheads, a few jerseys, a few shirts that are brand new, and some baseball cards.
Thank you so much for the first responders and for the firefighters that are helping the community and the people of California, and especially Los Angeles. And thank you so much for your work, and keep doing what you're doing. You guys are the real heroes.
My name's Alfredo Famath, and I'm from Sylmar, right next to the Hearst fire. We got evacuated, but I really want to thank the firefighters for saving my house and my friends' houses. I appreciate you guys, and without you guys, I don't know where to be at, probably without a home, but I really appreciate everything you guys do for us.
What's up, everybody? Cappy here, InsideCrypto.com, and I just want to take a second to thank all the first responders, the firefighters, but I'm going to take another direction here. I was talking about it on the air. Our friends at Lazy Dog and LA Live have been feeding all these firefighters. I'm going to send a shout out to all the wait staff who are feeding the firefighters, who can then feel good, be nourished, go to sleep, and then get out there and fight those fires. So to everybody that's helping, appreciate all y'all.
Hey, Henry Ramos here from El Monte. Hey, first responders, thank you for everything you guys are doing, and keep fighting on. And this is for Los Angeles. Thank you guys, and keep going. We love you, LA.
In as little as days or as long as you need. Don't worry about the condition of your home. You don't need to pay for costly repairs because they buy as is. Sellers Advantage has been buying homes for over 20 years, focusing on helping sellers get the highest offer possible without having to get it ready for the market or deal with agents or pay commissions. They make selling easy and painless. They'll even offer you a $10,000 advance for moving and other expenses. If it's time to sell your home, call Sellers Advantage for a no-obligation offer. Call 888-390-AS-IS, 888-390-AS-IS, 888-397-2747, or visit sellersadvantage.com.
DRE number 01961658.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text HIM to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text HIM to 321-321. That's HIM to 321-321.
This is Sedano and Cap for your afternoon drive.
Really? Oh, my B.
Yeah.
My B.
Your B.
On 710 ESPN.
Oh, straight up now, tell me, Cappy.
Hey, outside of Books, have you figured out anything for Kelly for Valentine's Day?
No. I mean, yeah, we just, I'm not even going to be around for Valentine's Day. I'm at the All-Star game.
You know what really bothers me is that I'm such a last-minute procrastinator when it comes to these kinds of holidays.
But I already took care of the books, buddy. I got the quickie books.
Quickie books I
that,
get.
They'll enjoy.
Listen, the one thing about books, and this is not even a spot, is how long they last, and you've talked about that. But here's the thing. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but when you have a holiday like Valentine's Day, and you know you need to do something right for your lady, for me, as a procrastinator, the longer it goes, George, the more expensive it gets. You understand what I'm saying? Like, because then...
Oh, yeah, of course.
Because then, instead of coming up with something creative like 3 weeks ago, now I'm down to today's Tuesday and Valentine's Day's Friday, and now I got to come up with something fast, and it's probably going to wind up costing me a lot more.
Yeah, well, I know the kids, like Aria is creating like a basket for her, so I've purchased some stuff because, she doesn't purchase it. So I got to I've purchased a bunch of stuff that they're creating this basket for her.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Hopefully she's not listening because that was probably a surprise.
Oh, okay.
I'm guessing she's not listening, if I'm being honest.
Why?
They don't listen that often.
Really?
Yeah, it's fine. Why? I mean, I've been on the air a long time. Like, she's heard me talk on the radio before. It's not like
thought she's a big fan of the program.
I mean, sometimes.
Good use of the word program.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
But shout out to Paula Abdul, #1 hit 1989, straight up.
Shout out.
That was her original hit.
Shout out, girl.
Former Laker girl, Paula.
That's right.
Daughter of Abdullah the Butcher.
If you no,
really?
It's not.
Really, I
So,
love
no,
Abdullah the Butcher.
She thought that.
No, I'm a big fan of Abdullah the
That's
Butcher.
what my dad told me when I was little. He said he called her Paula Abdullah the Butcher, and he had me convinced until I was like a teenager that was really her dad.
Let me tell you something. Abdullah the Butcher one night scared the ever-living hell out of me. George, you'll appreciate this. I was at a wrestling show, at a place called the Sunrise Musical Theater. Now, this was not an arena. This was just a theater.
It's like an amphitheater.
Right. So imagine
it's like a smaller version of the Hollywood Bowl.
Right. So imagine like a 5,000-seat arena where everybody's looking at the stage. So that a wrestling show happens on the stage. There's nobody on the other side of the stage. But whatever. And Abdullah the Butcher came out, and he's walking to the ring, and he's such a big, fat, disgusting slob. But that was sort of, part of what was so scary about him because you thought he might eat you. And my father is standing up, and he's going, "Screw you, Abdullah the Butcher." And he's giving my dad's giving him all kinds of, and Abdullah the Butcher, for whatever reason, locked eyes on my father and pointed right at my father. Like you. Come on.
Oh, Charlie.
Bring it up. Come on. You want a piece of Abdullah? Come on up and get some, Charlie. Right? And I was 12 years old and start crying. Daddy's going to kill you. Stop. I loved Abdullah the Butcher.
That's funny.
I did indeed.
By the way, let's get into the Lakers real quick. Oh, real quick. Before I get into the Lakers, still Lakers tangent, sort of. We were talking about Jay Moore earlier, who we ran into. So when I was doing my first hit of the game, it was right in the corner, across from the Laker bench, right in front of Jay and Jeannie.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm standing there, and right before the cameras are going on, Jay is clapping, going, "Yeah, Sedano! Go, let's go!" And I was like, so if you go on my Instagram, Michael Morales, who's a big fan of the station, he always is at Laker games, and his Instagram is very popular about videoing stuff at Laker games. So there's this video that I have now posted on my story, on my Instagram story, and it's me just laughing, kind of keeling over with my microphone as the cameraman's waiting. And it's because Jay is he's cheering me on. It was hilarious to endure. And then Jeannie just kind of waves, and I was like, "Hi." It was so strange, but hilarious nonetheless. So Jay, we love you, buddy.
Hey,
yes, thank you.
And shout out to Michael Morales, who last night I go walking by him. We stop and chat. You know what he told me last night, George?
What did he tell you?
Do you know what Michael Morales does for a living when he's not at Laker games? You know what he does for a living?
I don't know. I would imagine he's got to do something good because he's got great seats.
He's a mailman.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yes. And by the way, we spent a lot of time together last night. We exchanged phone numbers. Turns out, and Michael, I hope you don't mind me telling everybody this because I'm not embarrassed about it at all. He was telling me last night that all of his videos do so well on Facebook, not Instagram, on Facebook.
Right. Well, they're both tied together.
Yeah, right, but that and Facebook has what's called a professional dashboard.
Yeah,
where,
so you can make money. Right.
Okay, now
like YouTube.
I've never used Facebook as a professional dashboard to make money, and Michael started sending me texts this morning this is how you do it, and I'm like, I can't believe it. There's money to be made out there on, of all things, Facebook.
Yeah, I'm good. I haven't been on Facebook since 2012. So
no, I haven't been on it a really long time either. I don't really use it.
I deleted the account years ago.
Oh, no, I still have it, and I was blown away. There's serious coin to be made. And it's always great when you run into a listener who, by the way, has a whole different world of media savvy. So Michael, mailman, he's running away from dogs, chasing them all day long, okay? Yeah. But he knows something in media that I ain't got no idea about, right? And I think it's cute when he's like, "Oh, my God, I know something like this, and you have no idea." I'm like, no idea. What a great guy. Michael Morales, shout out to you, man.
So, Cappy, back to the Lakers.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to get you back on Facebook.
No, never.
You're going to make $5 million on Facebook this year.
No, I'm not.
10 million?
So they've got So they've got a couple of games here. They got the one game before the All-Star break is Utah again or whatever on Wednesday. And then they've got Charlotte, which is the makeup game right after the All-Star break on the following Wednesday. Mm-hmm. But then things start to get more serious. Mm-hmm. So I know on Thursday they're going on a little bit of a road trip. They got Portland, Denver. And I know people are like, Portland. Portland's won I think it's 9 out of their last 11 or something like that. And they've beaten some good teams. They are starting to play much better, that young team. So that's not a gimme per se anymore. And then they got to play at Denver on February 22nd.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that one's on ABC. That's the ABC primetime game at 5:30. And they got to play Jokic. Then after that, they got a couple days off. Then they're at home. They got Dallas, Minnesota, the Clippers back-to-back. And so that's a rough stretch there.
Well, slow down on February 25th for a quick second here. They're playing.
Dallas is obviously when Dallas comes to L.A.
Right.
They don't go to Dallas.
They're coming to Dallas is coming to L.A.,
Right.
which on the schedule when the trade happened, everybody I'm sure marked their calendar and said, I got to go to this game. Dallas and AD returning to L.A., but I think we all understand that the likelihood of AD playing is very, very slim. But your point, though, about playing against Dallas on a Tuesday, an off day Wednesday, and then back-to-back games on Thursday, Friday, this schedule, George, gets really rough. And I started to look even deeper into this schedule because before today, when the Lakers make a move for a big man who at least has a pulse and can actually suit up and maybe give you a few minutes, take a few fouls, whatever, when you start going deeper into this schedule, you got to play Milwaukee and Denver and San Antonio and then Denver again and Milwaukee again. I mean, if they don't figure out what their style is without a legit big guy, they're going to see a lot of big men coming up soon, and we're going to find out. This great run that the Lakers are on right now is awesome. It's exciting, but what happens when they don't have a center and they play against a team with like a real legit superstar center?
Yeah, I mean, Jokic obviously being prime number one. By the way, don't go that far. That first game against Portland, I mean, people think DeAndre Ayton. No, Donovan Clingan, their rookie from UConn who won a national championship, that dude is a beast as a defensive player. Like, that guy can, like, block, you know, if it wasn't for Wemby, he'd probably lead the league in blocks, to be honest with you. So, like, he's a very good defensive player. So, yeah, like, I none of those games are going to be easy that I just mentioned. Like, that's going to be the real test as to where the Lakers are with this group. So they have the All-Star break, and then things heat up pretty quickly for them. And they got like a little break with New Orleans or whatever. But then after that, you know, it's the Knicks and Celtics back-to-back again. So, it starts to heat up. And you mentioned Milwaukee, Denver again, Phoenix, the Spurs, Denver, Milwaukee. Like, the schedule really gets going in the second half where the Lakers are going to play a lot of good teams.
Yep, and good teams with big men, and the Lakers don't have anybody to go up against them, which is super interesting to me.
Yeah, like, what do you do with Giannis now?
Well, here's the thing. Like, last night...
Like, is LeBron going to guard Giannis?
I can't...
Rui?
Maybe Rui.
I have a feeling they're going to, like, zone it up against a team like Giannis. Kind of force them to beat them from the three-point line.
Right, but you can't zone it up for too long. They're the third-best shooting team in the league.
Gonna have to give up something.
Well, but here's the thing.
I mean, you want Damian Lillard shooting it from three all day? You know, I don't know if I want that either.
But you watched last night's game, right? Like, I don't think last night, while exciting, okay, and while they destroyed Utah, last night is not really an indication of what the Lakers are going to be because of who the opponent is. The other part of it is
they'll be better, by the way. And I'll tell you what, I think they're going to do something unique, is what I would call it this season.
You mean like something unique as in...
Well, everybody's going bigger, right?
Okay.
I think because of their lack of size, I actually think they can zag while everybody's zigging and go back to small ball and be effective with we talked about this with Trudell yesterday, like a Rui Hachimura at the 5 and just spread the floor and just play the math game.
Well, you don't really have much choice as of right now.
But I don't think you do that. You do that for a long stretches of time. I think you do that in spurts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm so curious, though, because, again, I'll go back to a question that you asked. I believe it was yesterday, which is how long will it take for them to kind of figure out who they are with this new roster? And I said, it's going to take probably 15 games or so. Like, last night was no indication because I feel like, and LeBron said it to Luka before the game, be yourself, okay? Don't fit in, fit the F out. Right? And so what I thought was cool about that was we're all going to go out tonight. We're going to play against a bad Utah team. We're going to win this game, and we're going to try and figure out how it all fits. And I felt like there was a lot of, wanna alley-oop everything last night. And that's
the first couple of plays,
right?
For sure.
And that's probably not what's going to happen.
They're gonna run. They're gonna push the pace a little bit more because when Luka rebounds the ball, I seen it especially in last night's game, is that he looks ahead of the court.
Right, he wants the
so
whole
he outlets the ball right away.
He wants to go deep.
He goes. Yeah, he outlets the ball right away.
And LeBron has always been great at that stuff, being on the receiving end. Like him and D Wade used to do that all the time. And then Kevin Love, he played with him, who was great at it. So like LeBron has been the recipient of that kind of play for a long time.
All right, Georgie, you ready to get to a little Radio Tinder coming up?
Yeah, of course. course.
All
I
right.
wouldn't want to get to low radio.
You
Why don't tell us
hesitated
about
there.
Abner Gatt?
You
Right.
hesitated
Well,
there.
I was looking to see I was looking mostly to see what the live read was, and I didn't realize it was Abner Gatt. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Captain.
Well, let me talk about Abner Gatt for a quick second here. Look, let's say your home is flooded. And look, we obviously know what has happened here in the last few weeks. But let me come back to, situations for people that, this happens, right? Floods happen in your home. And sometimes when that happens, your insurance company, which you depend on, all of a sudden they're not approving a replacement living arrangement for you. And the adjuster is like not even calling you back, is like ghosting you. I would just say this to you. Here's a piece of advice. Take a deep breath and call Abner Gatt. Abner is one of Southern California's largest public adjuster firms, and Abner knows how to fight back when your insurance company is making you, of all people, feel like a criminal, leaving you with no hope in getting your home back together. Here's the thing about Abner. He's got an extensive team of people that work for him. This team of people, they came from law firms, they came from insurance companies. They have a very diverse background. The key to having such a big team is these folks have the relationships with the insurance people. So when Abner's team calls, the insurance adjusters on the other side, they're like, okay, I now know who's taking over this case. I know their reputation. I know what they do. Let's kind of come to a settlement here. So look, if you have a toilet overflow, if you've got a broken water line, if the supply line burst, if you've got a broken fire sprinkler, whatever the water damage is, you need to call Abner Gatt today. Here's his number, 818-917-5256, 818-917-5256. Visit him online at abnergatt.com. That's abnergatt.com. When you call, Abner will answer. You'll know it's him because you'll hear that very famous phrase, hello, Abner Gatt. Your claim, our game.
I'm Doug Hopkins.
And I'm Damon Lyons.
And we want to buy your house.
With over 30 years in the business and more than 20,000 real estate transactions, Seller's Advantage offers a much better buying experience.
We don't charge agent fees, you pay no commissions, and you make no repairs. Seller's Advantage will show you a no obligation as-is cash offer and can close in just a few days.
Just check out our Google reviews and see for yourself.
Call Seller's Advantage today or visit sellersadvantage.com.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
I'm Doug.
And I'm Damon.
And we want to buy your...
No problem. Call NextGen today to book your $88 drain cleaning. That's right. For just $88, you'll receive a professional drain cleaning to keep your home flowing smoothly all season long. Call 833-3-NEXTGEN. That's 833-3-NEXGEN for your $88 drain cleaning.
NEXGEN. Call 833-3-NEXTGEN.
This February, the Genesis Invitational heads to Torrey Pines in San Diego. Be there when moments become legendary. The roars echo through the trees, and champions rise. The Genesis Invitational welcomes the world's best golfers, including Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, Colin Morikawa, and more, to Torrey Pines February 13th through 16th for the Genesis Invitational. This is where legends are made. Get your tickets today at genesisinvitational.com.
Hey, it's Bethel Duran. When you get into an auto collision and damage your vehicle, there's only one spot for you to call. That's my guy Leo at Active Collision. Experienced paint and body technicians will make your car look like it's brand new. You get a free estimate when you call 626-330-0100. They work with all insurance companies. Mention 710 and you get 50% off your insurance deductible. Call 626-330-0100, 626-330-0100, or visit activecollisionrepair.com.
Looking to enhance your home with the latest in audio, video, and smart home technology? Don't go anywhere else but Mir Audio Video in Westwood. For over 40 years, Mir has specialized in all things smart home solution with companies like Lutron and Crestron. For innovation, reliability, do what we do. Choose Mir Audio Video. In light of the recent fires in L.A., Mir is here to assist, providing guidance to your insurance company as needed. Visit MirAudioVideo.com or call 310-234-4010 today.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go.
The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Robinhood Gold members can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on annual retirement contributions. With Robinhood Gold, the perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive a 3% boost on annual IRA contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold at $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Robinhood Financial LLC member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
And it is Sedano and Cap. Around 5:30 p.m. in the Southland Radio Tinder time, we like to play a TV theme. You can follow her at Lindsay Baseball on Twitter or Instagram. Don't forget about our sponsor, Tequila Mandala. Always swipe right on Tequila Mandala. Take it away, producer Lindsay.
You know why we're playing this, Cappy?
I don't know, because Jennifer Aniston and I are eventually going to be a couple.
Yeah, and today's her birthday.
Oh, really? How old today?
I mean, didn't you buy her some books?
I haven't yet, but I would. Tell me how old she is. In fact, don't tell me. Let me guess. I'll say Jennifer Aniston is probably 57-ish.
No. 56? You know what's crazy is next week you turn the same age.
Me and Jen are the same age?
Uh-huh.
Double nickels?
Yep.
Whoa.
Only a week apart? That's like fate, Cap.
Oh, we're both Aquarians?
Yep.
George, what do you think now?
Aquarians?
Do you think I have more of a chance now?
Aquariums?
Yeah.
You're an aquarium?
Aquarian.
No chance,
the age
It's Aquarius.
Yeah, but like if you pluralize it.
I thought you said aquarium.
No, Aquarian. Aquarians. We're Aquarians. Jennifer Aniston.
Aquemini.
Jennifer Aniston, I know you're listening, and you know how I know, George?
Why is that?
Because everybody's listening.
Oh, fair. Yeah.
Jennifer
we know
Aniston.
Jay Moore listens. We found that out. I mean, we've known that a little bit, but he confirmed yesterday.
And Jay Moore, having starred in several films with Jennifer Aniston, I see me and Jen and Jay and Jeannie.
Jay connecting you?
Yes. First, I see Jay Moore connecting me and Jen, and then me and Jen and Jay and Jeannie are all going to be sitting courtside at the Laker games together.
And you're going to go on a double date together.
Correct.
Well, you better get her those books.
Correct.
To open the door.
I think Jay's going to call Jennifer Aniston and go, Jen, listen, I got this buddy of mine. I've known him for a long time.
She's a Jen with him now.
I've known him for a long time. He's a very regular guy. So for you, you either need ultra famous because you guys kind of get it, or you need like super anonymous. This guy is super anonymous. He's not rich. He's not famous. He's dashingly good looking.
I mean, you're not super anonymous, though, that's for sure. Maybe synonymous.
I think it's going to happen.
You're
synonymous?
Synonymous. Infamous, maybe, Cap.
It's going to happen.
I was going to be, what would he be synonymous with?
Yeah.
I don't know. I couldn't think of it. I was trying to think of, all his internet lore.
I don't know. Synonymous with a hot piece of ass is what I am.
His fights online, he's like poking and prodding the people.
I'm just curious. What would the first interaction be if you were to meet her?
What if you met her at the Lakers game? What would you do?
I'd probably have to say to her, Jen.
You call her Jen?
You got to call her Jennifer because you got to wait till you're on that.
You don't know her,
level.
dude.
Let me tell you how I'd break the ice.
She could be offended.
Let me tell you how I'd break the ice with Jennifer Aniston. Jennifer, you know who my favorite character was on Days of Our Lives? Victor Kyriakis. That's right. Her dad starred on Days of Our Lives. And I had a Days of Our Lives period of my life.
Okay.
So I would compliment her father on my favorite soap opera back in the day. That's a solid icebreaker. True or false?
True. I think you're right. That's a good move.
Solid icebreaker.
I think it's a good move, Cap.
Thank you.
I'm with you on that one.
Thanks.
Well, speaking of actors and actresses, a lot of people think that there's a chance that Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce is going to retire, especially after getting their butts kicked in the Super Bowl by these Eagles. And a lot of people think he's going to make the full-time jump to Hollywood. So last year, he starred in FX's series Grotesquerie, which was a really weird. It was a very weird show.
I never saw it.
I watched it and it was really weird, only because like I had nothing else to watch. Super weird, but you might like it, Cappy. And then he also hosts Prime Video's Are You Smarter Than a Celebrity? He's also going to be releasing his first film as an executive producer with the indie feature My Dead Friend Zoe.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's going to be in the upcoming Netflix sequel, Happy Gilmore 2. So do you guys think that Travis Kelce could be like a bona fide Hollywood actor? Like, could he be a career actor?
John Cena, The Rock, what's his name? Batista. There's a lot of guys.
Batista's a great actor.
But I'm saying, you would have never thought any of those guys would have been good actors.
You're right.
In, movies.
So do you think that Travis Kelce could be a star?
Why not?
You think so, Cappy? He's got the star quality?
Something about Travis Kelce tells me that he wants to be in entertainment, which obviously, you're talking about executive producing a film. But for whatever reason, I don't necessarily know that I see him as like a leading man, A-list Hollywood star. I could see him.
He doesn't have to start that way. The Rock, none of those guys started that way that I just mentioned. They were all bit players.
I kind of see Travis Kelce more of a Michael Strahan and less of a Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
That is a good call. I could see that.
That's just my own opinion, but we'll see what he does.
He's got to have something going on if he was able to land Taylor Swift,
Well, he did what I do to Jennifer Aniston. He kept saying it on his podcast until finally he made it happen. If I keep saying it about Jennifer Aniston, one night it's going to happen. But then the thing is when I go to tell her about how much I loved her father's work on Days of Her Life, she's going to be like, you couldn't come up with something original? You've been using that same line on the radio for years.
Right.
So I got to come up with something
better.
Now
you got to think of a backup plan.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. All right, what's next, Lynn?
All right, so I saw this story about leftover pizza and how long it's been sitting out overnight, whether or not you can eat it. So I feel like we've all been there, you know.
Without putting it in the fridge, you're saying.
Right. Just like, let's say, you and your buddies are having pizza, or you leave it out on the kitchen table, you fall asleep, you wake up the next morning, and you're like, oh, there's a pizza. It has not been refrigerated all night, but you know what? It's fine. It's pizza. I do think there was I could be wrong, but I think there was a famous bit with Emily where, like, she had leftover pizza on her bedroom floor and ate a piece, like, the next day with no consequences. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that was the bit. So I want to ask you guys, would you ever, or have you ever, eaten pizza that has been left out overnight unrefrigerated? Swipe left or swipe right. Cappy, you go first.
100%, all the time. Let me explain why. Let's say you go to a pizza shop, right? And let's say that you look at the pizza that's available, and let's just say that they put that pizza out at 12 noon, and for whatever reason, there's one slice sitting there, and it's 9 o'clock at night. It's been sitting there all day. So who cares? By the way, pizza at room temperature is terrific. I have no issue. So if I ordered a pizza at 9 o'clock at night, and it was 7 o'clock in the morning, and the pizza was still sitting out, no problem.
George, what about you? What do you think?
Nope. I have not, because I am not trying to get sick. So basically you have like a 2-hour shelf life with pizza. And, like, in theory, you should put it away after about 2 hours. Now, obviously, if it's out, like, outdoors.
Did you, just Google it?
No. I'm just telling you. It has a 2-hour shelf life.
This is based on experience.
Okay. Go ahead.
No. I'm telling you this because I know people who own a pizza shop and have told me, like, if you're going to have pizza, like, cold pizza's cool. Don't leave it out for too long. Because the only thing that, in California is a little different because at night it gets cold. So if you order at night, it could be cool outside. But I don't know what the exact temperature you need to keep it at. But basically, if you're in like a warm house or something like that, you don't want to do it. You want to put it in the fridge. Once it gets cool and like the cheese is no longer melty, like you should probably put it in the fridge.
Let me ask you guys this question. Let's say you get a pizza, you put it in the back of your car, you forget about the pizza. You go out the next morning. Listen, you go out the next morning, but it was cold out.
Nothing in your car. Nothing that stays in your car.
Well, no.
How cold?
Let's say it's 50 degrees at night. Right?
No.
And you go to your car the next morning, and it's cold in your car. Your car essentially refrigerated the pizza. I'll eat that pizza.
It depends on the temperature. Because I don't know, like, what is an average fridge temperature? Probably, like, 40 degrees, right? I don't know.
My refrigerator is so freaking cold, and I can't figure out how to make it not as cold.
There's usually a knob on it.
I know, there's no knob. There's a digital thing, and every time I push the button, it makes it even colder. It's like borderline a freezer right now.
Well, you need to check the owner's manual. But to George's point, this story in Yahoo here said that leftover pizza, it's kind of taken on like a mythical status that somehow it's above making you sick even though it's left out overnight. However, like to George's point, it's not true. Pizza carries the same risks as any other food and needs to be handled safely. You would never eat like a piece of cheese or just a slice of pepperoni that has been sitting out on the counter all night.
Sure.
So, you know.
No, like if there was chicken that was sitting out overnight.
Well, chicken's totally
right.
totally
I'm not
different.
Do that. But a piece of pepperoni, no problem.
Yeah, you shouldn't do that because foodborne illness.
I mean, look, even like a charcuterie plate. Like
Oh, no,
after
after
a couple of hours, like that's got to go in the fridge.
Once it starts to get that little film of like sweat on it, then you know it's time to go. It's time to go.
All I know is this. I still haven't put on those white Skims, those new panties I got. All right? I still haven't put those things on. So if I ate that pizza in the morning the next day, who knows what might happen to me, which is why I still have yet to put on those brand new white Skims underpants.
You could keep them for Jennifer Aniston.
No, I don't. No, I need to wear black underpants when I'm with her.
Okay.
Just in case.
Okay, that's it for Radio Tinder.
That's all you got.
By the way, why did Patrick Mahomes Sr. and John Rocker, did John Rocker say something?
Cap was just showing me that fight.
Mahomes is the best. Mahomes.
George,
Mahomes.
I don't know what happened, but I saw this video on Instagram where Patrick Mahomes' dad and John Rocker, the former Atlanta Braves disgraced pitcher, get into it on Bourbon Street. And John
Rocker,
I
saw that, but did John Rocker say anything on Twitter?
I don't know, but John Rocker is a monster, dude. He is like all sauced up, like giant dude. And I was like, oh, Patrick Mahomes Sr., bro, back away. And then Rocker like throws a beer at him. Thankfully, it didn't come to blows, or at least it didn't on the video that I saw.
Yeah, I'm just trying to understand what the genesis of it was.
Me too. I'd like to know also. There's a lot of fights that I want to know the genesis of them.
Yeah.
Ahem.
Like your own fight, huh?
No, not mine.
Okay.
Somebody else's. Somebody else's.
Okay.
Right, but what was like the reason? Is there like a backstory that I don't know about?
I don't know.
My
man.
guess is John Rocker is an Eagles fan and he was taunting Patrick Mahomes' dad, maybe?
Or maybe Patrick Mahomes' dad was playing Major League Baseball when Rocker was also.
Oh, good point.
Maybe. I don't know.
We should Google this.
Okay.
John Rocker.
Hey, George, last night it was great that you and I, before the game, had a chance to take some videos and some pictures with our man Jacob Emrani. And I woke up this morning from the East Central. I went across the street to LA Live, and there was Jacob on one of those, bus.
He's everywhere, man.
The guy is everywhere. He is literally
he's
everywhere.
the fan of the game too. So like, you gotta go, like you go there, you dance, and like Jacob's dancing on the big screen. You got to dance, and then there's like fan dance nominees. It's great stuff. But more importantly, if you ever get injured in an accident, you got to call Jacob right away at 844-24-JACOB. Tell him Sedano, Mason, and the crew at 710 send you. Because if you're injured in an accident, you need to see a doctor right away to get back on the road to recovery. But what happens if you call the doctor and they don't have an appointment for a week, maybe even 2 or longer? Well, you call Jacob. Jacob will handle all the aspects of your case. All right? That's why you call him at 844-24-JACOB and tell him Sedano, Mason, and the crew at 710 sent you. Because he's going to make sure you get that doctor's appointment, usually on the same day with a doctor in your area, and the doctor doesn't get paid until the end of the case. So you don't have to pay out a penny, or you don't have to pay a penny out of pocket to get the health care you need. So even if you're in between jobs, don't have health care, Jacob can immediately get you the medical attention that you deserve. So if you prefer to meet face-to-face, by the way, with Jacob, if you don't want to do it on the phone, whatever, he can come to you. You can go to Jacob's office, whatever you want to do. But call him first at 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. 844-24-JACOB. Visit him online at calljacob.com. That way you can set up that appointment, that face-to-face meeting, or in Jacob's office, or he'll come to you or whatever, and get you on the road to recovery. If you or a loved one have been injured, also due to lost property, due to the recent wildfires, lawsuits have been filed against those responsible. So please call Jacob for a free case evaluation and help review your insurance policy and your claims. All free, by the way. And together, L.A., we are L.A. strong, okay? So call Jacob, tell him Sedano, Mason, and the crew from 710 sent you.
The Luka era is on for the
I'm Doug.
And I'm Damon.
And we want to buy your house.
Let Seller's Advantage show you how we can give you more.
No fees, no commissions, and no repairs. Just a fair cash offer that can close in just a few days.
Check out our Google reviews.
And call Seller's Advantage today or visit sellersadvantage.com.
Is it time to sell your home? Maybe you want to downsize. Maybe you want to move. Or maybe you inherited a home that you just don't want to hang on to. Whatever your reasons to sell, call Seller's Advantage. Seller's Advantage has been buying homes for decades. Their seller reviews speak for themselves. They're just people who buy from people, and they'll provide you a custom solution that works for your needs. They offer and will buy with cash, and they close in days. The great part is you don't have to worry about spending any money on repairs, preparing your home to be shown, or having people come in and out. And there are no agents, just a great offer and an easy experience that will give you the peace of mind so that you can walk away happy. So if it's time to sell your home, call Seller's Advantage for a free, no-obligation offer today. 888-390-AS-IS, 888-390-AS-IS, 888-390-2747, or visit sellersadvantage.com.
DRE number 01961658.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED, because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs, with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
This is Sedano and Cap for your afternoon drive.
Walks around like a little puppy dog.
On 710 ESPN.
Yeah.
Cap, you know who this is?
Let me hear. Is it Destiny's Child?
It's not. It's a
Is it
singular performer.
Is it? Is it Pink Eye? Isn't that her name?
It's not Left Eye. It's not Left Eye.
Oh, her name's not
Pink
Pink Eye.
Eye.
It's Left Eye. Oh, my bad. My bad, y'all. This is a singular performer,
Yes. She has a brother who became famous because he had a sex tape with Kim Kardashian.
Oh,
Right.
What's her name? Beverly.
Beverly.
No, I'm gonna get. I can't.
Brandy.
Brandy. I knew it was Brandy.
I love Brandy. You know, she hasn't
Brandy.
aged a day either. She was on TV recently for something, and I'm like, wow, she's
She has
exactly
not
the
aged
same.
today. Yeah, she looks great.
Yeah.
I feel like she dated a buddy of mine also. Curtis Martin, the Hall of Fame running back from the Jets. Did she date him?
She might have. Let me look
I
it
feel
up.
like she did. All right, Georgie. Where were we?
We were talking about John Rocker.
Oh, we were? What's the story? Now Lindsay's telling me that
Yeah,
this
I
whole
don't know.
thing's-
I haven't found any details as to why John Rocker. Like, did John Rocker say something on Twitter
So I did a
about
little.
Patrick Mahomes Jr.?
Well, that's what I thought, but I did a little Google search, and according to TMZ, they think it may just be a publicity stunt because Dave Portnoy from Barstool said a couple days before the Super Bowl that Mahomes Sr. and John Rocker are expected to fight in a future rough and rowdy boxing event.
Mm-hmm. Now, if I'm John Rocker, I would love to fight in a rough and rowdy boxing event because I've been irrelevant since 1999. If I'm Patrick,
but your kid is Patrick Mahomes.
Right. Now, if I'm Patrick Mahomes Sr., on the other hand, why the hell do I want to go into a boxing match against John Rocker? By the way, if you look at Rocker in this video, he's a beast. Why do I want that smoke when, oh, by the way, my son makes $50 million a year playing quarterback in the NFL? Do we really need the money?
What embarrassment. Poor Patrick.
Now, stop calling him Patrick like Tom
That's
Brady.
right.
I mean, come on,
I can't
girl.
help it. He's got me, he's got me doing it now.
I understand.
Mahomes is the best. Mahomes. Mahomes.
Patrick. It's Patrick to you,
Okay.
Pepe.
George, let me pose something to you. You ready?
Sure.
Okay, I just wasn't sure if you were ready or not. There was a very dramatic pause. Did you happen to see earlier today our man Brian Windhorst on First Take today with Stephen A. Smith?
Yeah, he made fun of Stephen A. Smith on the
Here, you want me to play it?
It's so funny. I just want to preface it before we play it with everything that is happening in this discussion is before the Lakers make the move for Alex Len, right? So before they go out and get a 7-foot, 31-year-old player who, is capable of putting on a uniform and giving you a few minutes, the conversation is about the Lakers needing a big man. Stephen A. has a suggestion, and Wendy is just not having it. Go ahead and play it.
I haven't seen him in a couple of years. I don't know how he's looking, Wendy, but I'm finding it hard to believe. All you need is somebody to defend and rebound. Why not look at a Dwight Howard? Sure. Why not look at somebody off the scrap heap? He's always in shape. He never looks out of shape at all. Don't get me wrong. I understand, Wendy. I know we ain't seen him in a while. But Shannon brought up names like JaVale McGee. Others. Just look around. I would say this to you, Wendy. Look around the league. Who's available? What are we talking about here? What are we talking about here, Wendy? Why are you shaking your head like that?
When he's playing in Mongolia, why don't you call him?
Who?
DeMarcus Cousins is playing in Mongolia. Why don't you call him?
I'll tell you why.
He's literally playing in Mongolia. Dwight Howard's going into the Hall of Fame because he's retired for so long. His last time he played was in Taiwan. Are you being serious?
I'm being serious only from this standpoint. You don't need anything from him. You just need a big body who can rebound, okay? And kind of do something to play defense. You don't need I'm not telling you that the man is going to be what he once was, okay? I'm saying to you, damn, look around the league. What is there? What is there?
Is just killing up my mood. Oh, geez.
I'm just saying, Wendy, what
I
is
heard Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is a free agent. He can
really, that's what we do. That's what we do.
Oh, that's the best. George, you hear what Wendy said at the end?
Yes, I heard.
He told him
I have ears.
I heard Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is a free agent.
Yeah, Kareem's a free agent. Oh, yeah. That was a great line by Wendy. I loved it. That was hilarious.
It was funny.
Or as
Mike first off, they hired him.
Right, or as Stephen A. would say, that was hilarious. It really was. It was very funny.
Dwight did just compete on Dancing with the Stars not too long ago.
So he's in good shape,
this most recent season, I think.
But I think, George, from where Stephen A. is, I understand what he's getting at. They just need, again, previous to the signing of Alex Len today and the dismissal of Christian Wood, they just needed another person who has height and a little bit of build, a little bit of weight to him. So, I don't know, did you think it was an absolutely awful idea?
Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea.
What about
Dwight
Boogie Cousins? What about Boogie Cousins in Mongolia?
They're done. They're all done.
Boogie in Mongolia
I didn't
is
even
done?
know that they had pro basketball in Mongolia.
Yeah,
Did
they're
you?
all done. Yeah,
I don't even know where Mongolia is.
I don't either.
It's near China.
Okay.
But I did find out the John Rocker thing. Yeah, he'd been taking shots at Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce for a while.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know if that's where it started, and maybe that's why when Mahomes Sr. saw him, he was not thrilled to see him.
Mm-hmm. Well,
but he had been tweeting a bunch of stuff. If you go through his Twitter, he's just a guy who tweets a lot.
Rocker is?
He actually made a comment about Patrick Mahomes and his hair that was pretty gross, is what I would say.
Oh, really?
But I'm not surprised because John Rocker is not a good dude,
No.
right? So
like I said, he hasn't been relevant since 1999 because I'm telling you, it was 1999. I think maybe you might get me on 2000 when he got into all that trouble with that Sports Illustrated article that essentially got him excommunicated from Major League Baseball.
Yeah, so he's up to his antics on Twitter, and he's been taking shots at Mahomes Jr., and that's it. So Pat Sr. saw him. He's like, nah, bro.
Yeah, but then Pat Sr. did get a good look at him and went, yeah, I'm going to go this way. I'm going to walk over here now because you look like nuts. He looks big.
Whatever.
What do you mean?
Just because you're big don't mean you can fight, bro.
No, I'm personally not worried. Like I said, I showed DeAndre the film from earlier today.
Got those hands.
Got the speed, the
But
power,
DeAndre,
the balance.
isn't it true? Just because you're big doesn't mean you can fight.
That is very true.
I know a lot of little guys that can whoop your ass.
That's right.
I'll just say this. John Rocker looked nuts. And Pat Mahomes Sr. walked away, and that was probably a good move, based on the video I've seen. You don't need to be getting into a fight with John Rocker on Bourbon Street the week of the Super Bowl. It's embarrassing.
All right. Anyway.
That all
right,
being said.
Cappy, what do you want to do next?
Let's get to the 5 o'clock hour. Let's go commercial free, okay? And let's go back.
Oh, man, that means I can't do my jumping jacks in the commercial free.
Well, you're going to do them right now.
Yeah, I know, but then I got 30 minutes of no jumping jacks.
Then you'll do twice as many at the end, right?
I got to do 200 jumping jacks?
You'll do 200 at the end of the show.
Holy moly. I'm up to like 700.
Nice.
I don't know.
Nice jumping jacks.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
All right, we'll be back.
When it comes to the NBA, Lakers and Luka.
I'm Doug Hopkins.
And I'm Damon Lyons.
And we want to buy your house.
With over 30 years in the business and more than 20,000 real estate transactions, Seller's Advantage offers a much better buying experience.
We don't charge agent fees, you pay no commissions, and you make no repairs. Seller's Advantage will show you a no obligation as-is cash offer and can close in just a few days.
Just check out our Google reviews and see for yourself.
Call Seller's Advantage today or visit sellersadvantage.com.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
The Genesis Invitational welcomes the world's best golfers, including Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, Colin Morikawa, and more to Torrey Pines February 13th through 16th for the Genesis Invitational. This is where legends are made. Get your tickets today at genesisinvitational.com.
You never expect a Hail Mary pass to win and end the game or getting into an accident. Hey, it's Trav with DeMarco.
Only one all-star defense team you can call to defend you. The personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000.
Don't get sacked by others. Joseph will help you achieve the maximum compensation you deserve. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. That's 213-747-2000.
Let Joseph and his team score a touchdown for you.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
710 ESPN, your home for the 17-time world champion Lakers.
KSPN Los Angeles, a good karma brands radio station. This is the city, Los Angeles, California. It's 5 p.m. in the Southland. Turn it up, man. Time to blow that 5 o'clock whistle with Sedano and Cappy.
That's right, it's the 5 o'clock hour on Sedano and Cap. And it's time for 30 minutes non-stop.
Sedano and Cap on 710 ESPN.
With fun and frivolity, tomfoolery and hijinks, and Cappy doing his thing, thanks to our friends at Real Father's Rights. Real Father's Rights, the father's rights attorney.
Visit RFR710.com or call 833-ESPN-710.
Let's do it, 5 o'clock in the Southland.
30 minutes of non-stop Sedano and Cap starts now.
You ready for this? And time for the Real Father's Rights 5 o'clock hour on 710 ESPN. Let's do it, Jack.
Yeah. Do-da-da-bop. Yeah. Boom-ba-da-bop. Yeah. Do-da-da-bop. I always love when we're on remote and there's that one little second delay.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like the row your boat thing where row, and then the next person goes row. As I said, that little delay. So bing, ba-da-bop, ba-da-bop, pick-a-doom, dee-nom-bom. Yeah. But that's what happens.
USC men's basketball cappy after us against Penn State.
Pennsylvania State University tonight.
Correct. Your rival.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Before college football and college basketball got so screwed up with conference realignment, that was the rivalry. Pitt, Penn State, USC, UCLA, Nebraska, Oklahoma.
Big Ten basketball, baby.
Yeah, that's happening tonight. So that's going to take us out of here at 5:27 and change.
Yeah, and then tomorrow's an early show too, right? A short show?
Because tomorrow, the Lakers.
Yeah, we're only on for 90 minutes tomorrow.
What's the story? The Lakers play at Utah tomorrow, but the
6.
game is game's at 6.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we come on at 3. We're off at 4:30 tomorrow, huh?
Yeah, but Andy Kamenetsky will be in with us just in case. Even though George would normally do like the first hour from his hotel room, probably not in the shower this time.
We don't know what's going on in Dallas because they just had a bunch of protests outside the arena.
There's a lot going on in Dallas, so we want to make sure that George's safety
People
is put first.
Mad, Cappy. Like they are so mad. Like mad.
Well,
like crazy. Like people are acting nuts.
Here's the thing. When let's go to Dallas for a second. When the Dallas Mavericks trade Luka to the Lakers, as a Mavericks fan, you're pissed because you know that this kid, 25 years old, took you to the NBA Finals last year. So what in the hell are you doing trading this guy? That's the start of it. Then you bring back Anthony Davis. And if you're an astute basketball fan, you would say, well, Anthony Davis is an outstanding player, but his reputation is that he gets hurt a lot. And I tried to refute that for people going, hey, look, you look at the last 100 games, he's played in 95% of them. So, the one thing about Anthony Davis is he toughs things out, in my opinion, because he's heard the whispers. And maybe they're not even
whispers. I think
whispers.
he came back too early in this one, too, and look what happened.
I agree. So if you're a Dallas fan, you were originally pissed because how dare they trade this 25-year-old star, but now you're 10 times more pissed because Anthony Davis gave you a chance to see what he is for about a half, and then he got hurt, and you got the full AD experience in half of a game. You saw how brilliant he can be. He can score, he can block, he can rebound, et cetera, and then he gets hurt when nobody even touched him. And then, by the way, goes to the media afterwards and goes, nah, I'm fine, it's no big deal. And then, of course, you find out that he's going to be out for about a month. So if you're a Mavericks fan, you were pissed at the beginning, and now you're livid. It's like 4 words, livid.
Livida?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, did you see that they were at the Mavs game yesterday? They're showing people were bringing in Fire Nico
They
signs.
tossed people out, right, because of signs?
That's kind of ridiculous in my opinion. I guess they have the right to do that, but that's pretty weak if they're going to kick people out for saying fire the GM.
I think it's totally weak.
Well, don't you remember the New York Knicks threw out one of their storied players in Charles Oakley? They wrestled him out of the arena a couple years ago.
Yeah, but I don't remember
because he made some comments about Dolan.
Yeah, team owners and they're so thin-skinned. Here are some fans last night. They paid their money, they have their tickets, and they want to peacefully protest, if you will, by having signs that say "Fire the GM." And oh my God, you would think that these guys started a riot the way they kicked them out last night. And I've seen it all over the place. George, many years ago, I can remember Barry Bonds coming to San Diego to take on the Padres, and people brought inflatable needles, and syringes, right? And they all got kicked out. How dare you insult the opposing player? It's I don't know. It's kind of funny. I thought it was funny.
Well, listen, they have the right. It says on the back of the ticket, man.
Yep.
You can toss your ass.
They are so sensitive. My goodness.
Listen, I would say this. In regards to Nico Harrison, the general manager, they've had to amp up security because of the crazy death threats that he's getting.
Now that's of course stupid. But here's the thing.
By the way, there's a person within the Mavs organization who I've met.
Mm-hmm.
She used to work at the FBI. So, they have, people who understand the highest level of these things.
Oh,
and how
yeah.
these things go.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But I would just say this to all Mavericks fans who are so pissed off. Do you really, really blame your general manager? Like, in my opinion.
No, of course it's the owner.
It's the owner. I mean, for the guy who is now.
I mean, he said it on the record.
Right. Here's the guy who is now the governor, meaning he's the face of ownership for the Dallas Mavericks.
Right.
That guy tells everybody the other day, and I'm paraphrasing, hey, look, if you're not going to work your ass off like the all-time greats, Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal. See, once he said Shaquille O'Neal, he lost everybody.
Right. It was like, bro. And he didn't say Dirk Nowitzki, who played like almost every game he could. Like for the Dallas Mavericks was a statue outside the building.
Right. And for him to say those things about Luka, and then to this whole idea of, well, then you can't play for us because in our organization you have to be 1,000% committed, and then like to me it's an ongoing backpedaling by the Dallas Mavericks, who know that they screwed up, but the truth of the matter is they don't want to tell you what the reality is. The reality is, for whatever reason, that ownership did not want to pay him that max contract. And whether you believe in the conspiracy theory of they're trying to bring gambling to Texas and that
that's nonsense. The NBA's already said that they would never let them leave.
Of course they're not going to leave. And even the Mavericks organization has now come out and said we're not going anywhere. But just the stupidity of it all. Again, I don't blame the general manager. He's the guy who's got to take the bullets. But the fact of the matter is that decision was made above him, in my opinion.
Well, that's a weird choice of words to use, considering you said he's got death threats on him.
Yeah,
but
sorry, buddy.
Nonetheless, hopefully not actual bullets.
Yeah. Theoretical bullets. You understand what I'm saying. He's the guy that stands in front of the ownership. That's known.
Shield.
That's known
Let's
as
use that.
political
That's a
cover.
better term.
Right.
Yeah,
it's political cover. Is all it is. Speaking of that,
I'm genuinely curious. I'm doing this game tomorrow against the Warriors here in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
I'm genuinely curious to see what it's going to be like out there.
you guys got a police escort in?
We do not, but
Should
I don't
have one.
believe we will need one.
Should have one.
I mean, if we need one out, maybe, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not in, I don't believe.
So just back to the whole Luka AD trade. This bringing it home last night, George. I don't know if you knew this or not before the game. I didn't know it. I was curious about it, which is why I ran my camera while it was happening. During the pregame introductions, was it a well-known thing that LeBron would be introduced into the starting lineup before Luka? Did you know that?
Yes, we knew well before the game.
Okay, and is that something that was like put out in like a press release, or is it something that the coaches said? Was it a question that you asked?
No, I mean, no. We were told. I'm trying to remember who told us, but we were told, and then Luka said that LeBron texted him, "Hey, do you want to be introduced last today as your first game?"
So I would say this. I thought it was a very, very generous and professional move by LeBron to insinuate or to actually initiate. Thank you. To initiate that with Luka. I thought that was a professional, generous move by LeBron. On the flip side, according to the reports now, Luka will go back to being introduced fourth, and LeBron will be introduced fifth. And,
correct.
And I think that's the right thing to do. Do you agree with that, or do you disagree?
Yeah.
Okay, so we were talking about it earlier. Listen, let me say it like this. Luka is the Laker future, but it is still LeBron's team, the way I see it.
By the way, I will remember I said for this to work, I said LeBron has to. I specifically used this phrase: LeBron has to play the role that Dwayne Wade played for him. Remember I said that?
I do.
So if you want to use the intros as an example, in Miami, LeBron was introduced fourth, sometimes first, but usually fourth. And Dwayne Wade was the one who went last. To your point.
Yeah, I think that LeBron should be introduced last, and here's why. LeBron has been the Laker for the last, 7 years. LeBron has led the Lakers to a championship, and everybody is driving down the road right now goes, oh, yeah, it's just the bubble championship. Oh, it's okay. Whatever your opinion is on the championship, that's your opinion. But LeBron has been here. LeBron has led the team to a championship. LeBron is 40 years old and giving you this kind of effort every night. Okay? To me, LeBron has earned the right to be the last player introduced. I thought last night it was a great gesture, and the crowd went they went nuts last night. They did, and they loved it. Now, number 23 from, Cleveland, Ohio, LeBron James, and the place goes crazy.
St. Vincent.
Right. But when they introduced Luka last night, the place lost its mind. And I thought it was an awesome moment. And I think it's the respectful thing to do as a 25-year-old player who knows this will be my franchise, but right now it still is, whether you like it or not, it's still LeBron's franchise. What do you say?
Yes, I wouldn't disagree with that.
See, this is what.
But I feel like you're just like super just consumed with whose franchise it is.
Well, I'm just saying that last night, if it was, I thought it was, like I said, I thought it was a generous thing to do by LeBron. I thought it was generous. I thought it was professional. And I think going back to Luka being introduced before LeBron is the right thing to do out of respect. Really.
Right.
George, what did you think about that weird pregame thing where LeBron yelled to fit the bleep out when that's the opposite of what he tweeted passive-aggressively about Kevin Love? Remember that?
Yes, I do vaguely remember that.
So he said fit in.
Maybe he's just changed it up. I don't know.
Or fit out. I just feel like it's funny that he told Luka to fit the bleep out.
I mean, am I wrong for believing that this could potentially be Luka's team and the fact that they went to him like, hey, look, what big man do you think will fit with this Lakers team? Because he had success last year in Dallas, obviously with Gafford and Lively. Hey, look, we know you like a lob threat guys. Guys will come out the pick and roll. You can throw a quick lob to. So essentially, is that the way of saying, like, hey, look, we want to build around Luka Dončić for the now and for the future. So therefore, this is trending towards the step that this is Luka Dončić's team.
I guess for me, it will be Luka's team when there isn't LeBron. For now,
that's what I think.
By the way, Cappy, I'm looking at a 1984-85 Lakers intro.
Tell me.
And Kareem came after Magic. It was introduced after Magic Johnson.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
It's like a seniority and respect thing, right?
That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly
how I look at it. No one's ever going to come after LeBron, probably ever, at any time in his career.
I found it on YouTube as I wanted to look it up just to see what it was. And, so it was Magic and then Kareem.
Yeah. I mean, I loved it last night. I thought it was great. And the crowd absolutely lost its mind. And what I thought was really great last night is that I mentioned it earlier. If the game tipped off at, let's just say, 7:30, I don't remember the exact time, but by 7 o'clock, George, the building was buzzing. And everybody was in their seat location, but standing on their feet and shooting video and following, Luka around. When the Lakers bring down the curtains because they're about to do like the pregame introductions, but they've got the whole video presentation beforehand, I was wondering like how much Luka would be edited into the pregame presentation. And I thought whoever at the Lakers does those productions did a great job of like just giving you little teeny tiny snippets of Luka's face as if to say like, hey, he's just gotten here. He hasn't played yet. We don't know what it's going to look like. So here, just little tiny snippets.
Yeah, of course. Well, but when a player gets traded, Cappy, they just weave them into those videos by because they haven't played yet. They just do they stand still and take like photos of them or video of them just like standing there or maybe dribbling or something like that in like a little studio or something. That's kind of how they do it.
Yeah, but I thought it was really great the way they just gave you a
they did it with
tiny
Markieff
taste.
Morris too.
That I didn't notice.
Yeah, and by the way, Maxi Kleber was in there too.
I didn't notice him either. All I was waiting for was to see how much Luka was going to be in that pregame video, and I thought it was really great. I thought the Lakers last night did a great job of just building the drama and turning last night into what they should turn it into, which is Hollywood, glitz, glamour. The whole thing last night was just awesome.
Yeah, it was a great night. I don't think there was any question about it.
Yep, it really was.
But you left at halftime. It was so great.
I did, but that was only because the score was so out of control and Utah posed no threat. No threat. And I had a very early wake-up call this morning because I had to go kick a little ass over at the Wild Card boxing gym. You understand?
Yeah, I hear you.
A right hook from Cap is, I don't know. I like that right hook is kind of scary.
You
man.
like that right hook?
Oh, come on now.
Yeah, that right hook, yeah.
Well, because George, Adrian Gonzalez, flex right there, dropping names, was wearing what looked like a Joe Theismann helmet. Remember, like in the old days, Joe Theismann had the single bar?
Yeah.
So Adrian has headgear, and he's got like that Joe Theismann helmet with the single bar protecting his face because he's a good-looking guy. You don't want to hurt him, And but he told me, he said, bring it. He blocked every punch that I threw. Like, I just had no chance of getting through his defense. None. Fast and powerful.
What did you think as the host of Lakers Talk Daily? I would love to know what you thought about last night.
I thought it was great. I thought it was a sign. Obviously, Luka struggle shooting. He's going to take a little bit of time to get into his shooting rhythm. But I just love the energy and the pace that they're playing with. I mean, his ability to be able to outlet the ball. And everyone knows when LeBron James up the court and one-on-one and in the fast break situation, he's unstoppable. So that's what I like to see. I do like, as far as Luka Dončić, everyone was concerned about his defense and what he would do in that end and him not being able to stay in front of guys. I do think that he was able to attempt to close out and try to stay in front of guys. I mean, he did pick up a couple early fouls here and there.
Well, he was guarding John Collins to start, so the power forward on the team, which I think is smart. Like, don't let him guard guards.
Exactly. And I know there's going to be, Lakers switch a lot, so that's the only thing I'm concerned about going forward is how are they going to game plan going forward when they know that they like to switch a lot 1 through 5. But as far as just all-around performance, I thought it was great. I thought, him and LeBron able to, kind of feed off of each other.
I thought, and I'll ask you guys if you thought the same thing, and maybe I'm just sort of seeing what I want to see, but I'll ask you guys. Like, LeBron looks re-energized. Now, he's been playing great. He's been playing out of his mind, especially in these last, 10 or 12 games. He has really been playing. I mean, since that game in New York in particular, that game against the Knicks, I feel like LeBron is playing, just out of his mind right now. But getting a kid who's going to be his successor, a guy whose game he loves, a kid who he knows he was a big influence on his career, is it me or does LeBron look like completely re-energized?
Of course he does, because he's now surrounded by skilled young players, right? Luka is Austin Reeves is playing great. I mean, he had 45 the other night. I mean, he's only the 6th guy in the history of the Lakers to have a game that went for 45, 7, and 7. The other guys are Magic, Jerry West, Elgin Baylor, Kobe, and LeBron. So, I mean, AR's playing great. He's got way more in his bag than I think even they anticipated. And then, you got Luka, who is much like LeBron. He was like, a prodigy. You know what I'm saying? Like, we knew about Luka Dončić, if you followed basketball, when he was a teenager, in Real Madrid. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was playing in Spain with men. And, that's why it was so stunning to most people that he didn't go number 1 overall with the, Phoenix or Sacramento or whoever had, those first couple picks. So, I think he understands, particularly with Luka, who he's playing with, a once-in-a-lifetime generational type player. He probably didn't think he would have that opportunity to play with someone at that age coming up, and by the way, still has barely scratched the surface of his prime. I don't think he ever in his wildest dreams thought that was going to be the case. And it's not a knock on AD, because AD, I still believe, when you see him and he plays, he's, outside of Jokic, the best big man in the sport. His availability at times has been an issue, even though it wasn't most recently. But it's different when you're playing with a prodigy, and you can relate to that if you're him. So I do think he's re-energized. He even tweeted about AR and it was on Instagram about him and Luka and how lucky I am. Of course he's re-energized.
By the way, you bring up Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves, it's actually quite amazing that the Lakers, previous to the trade deadline, when we talked about what the Lakers were going to do, the one thing that everybody talked about was their most tradable option or asset, if you will, was Austin Reeves. And we haven't really talked much about the fact that they were able to get Luka, then the whole Mark Williams thing, although that turned into a disaster. But the fact of the matter is they kept Austin Reeves, and Reeves is playing the best basketball of his career. Like, I remember like 2 years ago, people were like, well, he's good, but, he's good because he's making like no money, And then when they gave him money, everybody's like, well, he was good when he was making very little money, but will he really be good when you're paying him this amount of money? And then he kind of outperformed the contract again. And Austin Reeves is playing like out of his mind. And it's just honestly like it's so fun. I don't know about the rest of you guys. Like for me, it's fun to watch guys like grow and become better. Like, listen, I will tell you, like the one bad part about the trade for me was Max Christie. Like I was enjoying watching that young kid develop.
Told you, I ran into him today.
You ran into Max Christie today.
I did. I told him, my guy Cappy misses your mustache.
Well, I mean, it went from like, peach fuzz, cute, like 17-year-old, like wannabe mustache to now, I mean, I don't know, how old is he? 21? Like
he's 23. No?
Is he 23 now?
Is he? Yeah.
I don't know, man, but he's got like
but I ran into him. We talked for a couple, like just a quick, what's up?
He's 22.
22, huh?
Yeah, but I did. I ran into him.
Okay.
He's living in a hotel. He just got here.
Did he say anything like, like, did you ask him like, hey man, how was it? Like, were you shocked? Were you surprised?
It was an elevator conversation, Cappy. There was other people there. I wasn't gonna go that deep.
Oh, okay. And what floor were you on when you guys got into the elevator together?
I'm not telling you that.
No, it's important to the conversation because think about it.
Not high up. How about that?
Okay, well, here's the thing. Let's say you're on the ground floor, right? And let's say you're in the elevator.
We were going down. We were on the same floor.
Okay. Oh, okay. So let's say you're on floor 10, and let's say you're going down to the ground floor. But let's just say that there's nobody else in the elevator. From 10 to 0, you have a chance to have a nice conversation.
Right, but there was a woman in the elevator. I didn't know who she was. I wasn't going to ask him anything like that, he may have not wanted to discuss around other people.
But then you brought up his mustache to him?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. I could appreciate that.
Yeah, it's a little different. It's not like, it's mustache.
No, I can appreciate that. I mean,
he laughed at the mustache thing.
In front of a lady. You don't know who she is.
Well, no. The mustache thing I said to him right before we got on the elevator, and then the lady was there already, and then at that point it was just kind of like just small talk.
Okay, gotcha. That was like me and Rob Pelinka last night. Just pure small talk.
Rob Pelinka fixed my collar. I told you. Yesterday.
Oh, what a sweetheart! What an angel of a guy.
After we were done with JJ, the meeting, I was putting my tie on and my my coat, and then the door was open, and Rob walked by and he came in to say hello, and then I just put my jacket on. He said, hold on, let me fix your collar. You got to look good.
See, he's a fashionista, and he wanted you to look good.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Fixed my collar, the general manager of the Lakers.
What a sweetheart. Well, I guess that's going to qualify for Big Deal or No Deal. How about that? Brought to you by Seller's Advantage.
There you go. And Dealer's Choice. Is there one or no?
Well, that was it.
Oh, that was Dealer's Choice.
Yeah, that was it.
All right. Well, we're done here, Cappy. Great job, Lindsay and DeAndre. Cappy, excellent work as always. We will have a 90-minute extravaganza tomorrow. Andy Kamenetsky will be in the house with us as well. USC men's basketball is up next. The Trojans taking on the Nittany Lions